experience. Over here, we're going to be talking about everything African. We're going to be having debates, discussions, entertainment, as well as learning about business, art, history, and everything in between. Cultural, tribalism, and everything. We're going to be out here debating with some really interesting stuff. So like the video, share the video, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe for the best experience ever. This is the biggest channel on the Afrosphere. So come and join the team, become a Kaizoran, and join the Kaizoran Empire.
Universally exist within myself, within this premise, and I exist within this bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like the blue in the sky. I'ma fly like bird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma throw my bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma soar like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly like bluebird in the sky. I'ma fight like bluebird in the sky. I'ma eat like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be free like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Back again like the second coming. Strumming my vocal cords like the hummingbird in the sky. Y'all can't deny this. Real rap lyrics, it's like I ain't got no rhyming through the sky limit. What is skin tone, shade of color, but a parallel form of frequency like a ringtone on your phone. Melanin expression, tied up in the universe, feeling like gods. Is this really us? Is it serious? Is it really wrong to be diverse? I'm a divergent, immerse myself like an ocean beneath this waves. Be a divergent, born to be different. Indigo child, wild like canary. Born to be a bluebird in the sky, flying high like a bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Everybody scream bluebird in the sky. I'ma fly high, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. Yeah, bluebird in the sky. Everybody, bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like bluebird in the sky. I'ma be like born black, sweet like a berry. Flying high like a canary. Scary with my hoodie on. Hating on my vibe on the street that you'll be feeling my frequency of the song. But I know that.
To my explainer tonight, as Kenya hosts the inaugural Climate Change Summit, there has been much talk about carbon credits and their sale. What are they? Who has them? How and where are they traded? And how do they contribute?
Hey, what's good? What's good, my dusty Africans? Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, and send a super chat to support Black and African media. But today we're going to be talking about carbon credits, right? Africans are always late to the party, right? But I'm going to make sure I'm one of the first few channels to actually explain what it is, to delve a little bit deeper so that you as Africans know the business opportunities. I don't want people saying, well, the Europeans swindled us. Again, they put us in negative situations. They created this carbon tax that we had no idea of, and that's how we got effed over again. No, you're not getting effed. I'm telling you something that's happening right now, how your governments, if they're interested, if they're smart, or you as individual businesses or investors want to get into a new hot way of making money.
To reduce of climate change. Well, before we begin, some context is important, right? So it has been agreed that greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide warm up the atmosphere and, of course, lead the effects of and this is what leads to the damaging effects on climate that we have witnessed. Ice caps melting, floods, drought, and other effects, which is why
yeah, these things have always happened on Earth. We've had ice ages. We've had warmer periods of time. All these things are cyclical, right, when it comes to the planet. However, what we can agree on, right, the scientists, is that human-caused climate change has obviously affected some of the weather patterns that we're seeing. Some of the weather patterns, not complete, right? So let's not go and get crazy and say all of this is caused by humans. No, this is some of this so-called climate change we're witnessing is just part of the Earth's normal cyclical nature, right? That is the truth, right? But humans obviously have influenced parts of it.
At the Paris Climate Summit in 2015, 190 nations signed up to the Paris Agreement and committed to reducing their greenhouse gas emissions and limiting the global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius. Now, this historic agreement was actually preceded, in fact, by the Kyoto Protocol of 1997, where...
Yeah, Kyoto Protocol is interesting because actually America, right, one of the largest producers of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, did not sign it, right? So that's that's actually kind of interesting. And as far as I know, right, the timing for the Kyoto Protocol is actually 1992, not 1997, right? I know she's an African host, but just making corrections. Kyoto Protocol is 1992, not 1997. But yes, it was signed in 1997. I guess maybe that's what she was relating to. But yeah, okay, fair enough, right? They were extending it and then they signed it in 1997. So she's not wrong. Right? I was definitely bugging.
It was also decided that a carbon credit proposal was mooted to reduce carbon emissions. Now, later in Marrakesh in Morocco, they spelled out how the system would work. So, now that we have that background, just what are carbon credits? Well, if you take a look at it in some rather simple terms, carbon credits are simply buying permission to pollute. See, if you are a company whose business and production processes are in a place or another country or another company that is doing work to clean the environment. So let's say you cannot avoid polluting where you are. So you pay...
Yeah, what she's talking about is if you are a company, for example, Coca-Cola, you need energy in order to make Coca-Cola products, right? Not a lot of energy, but depending on how much Coke you're making, you need energy to run those machines, right? And that energy comes from, obviously, unless it's coming from solar energy or something, is going to come from burning coal, oil or gas, right? So you need to offset that balance by basically paying someone else who has a farm or some land who grow trees or other carbonaceous products that will take up the carbon from the environment, right, from the atmosphere, and then convert that carbon dioxide into the carbon that grows into these plants, right? So you're basically paying like another company who grow plants, trees, or other sort of carbonaceous materials to remove the carbon that you have polluted back into the environment. So they're trying to make these big companies net carbon neutral.
Somebody else, someplace else, who is doing work to reverse the effects of your own actions that are damaging the environment. So you are emitting carbon dioxide into the environment, which we have agreed is all warming up the earth and causing the negative effects we have all witnessed and experienced. But to offset your actions, you are paying someone who is working on removing or absorbing that carbon dioxide from the air. That person could be doing that through planting trees, which, if you remember our science classes back in primary school, trees absorb carbon dioxide from the air for their own photosynthesis. Or perhaps they could be investing in renewable energy like we're doing here in Kenya. So the next question is, so how much do carbon credits cost? Each permit or carbon credit is equivalent to 1 ton of carbon dioxide that is emitted into the environment. Each company, depending on their size and nature of business, has its determined emissions into the atmosphere, is assigned a number of permits. They can trade these, and also if they do not emit as much carbon dioxide as had been initially estimated, they can sell those permits to others. Now, the World Bank estimates that each ton of carbon dioxide should cost between $40 and $80. This is based on the Paris Climate Agreement.
Paying, and here's, of course, where the African conversation comes in. You're not going to be paying for these carbon credits or carbon taxes using African currencies, right? You're not going to use it on Asian currencies either, of course, but generally they are utilizing the dollars in order to trade these currencies. Now, if you have other foreign currencies like pounds, you can easily convert pounds to dollars, right? Because there's a market for it. So meaning this is already another way to scam everything by keeping Africa locked in a euro-dollar chokehold. Africans can't make dollars. They cannot print it, right? That's printed by the Federal Reserve in America. That's fine. Africans are also some countries excluded from international trade with embargoes and other restrictions. Okay, so that already limits Africans and what sort of things that they can get into. So really, this is just another way to scam Africans, right? Because Africans are not the ones who actually polluted the environment to begin with. Africans did not go through the Industrial Revolution like China, America, now India, etc., and then Britain and Germany and the rest of Europe. Africans have actually been the least polluters, yet suffering from the most effects of climate change, if you believe in it. And now they've started this new permit. That means an up-and-coming country, let's say like Uganda right now has oil. Uganda has so much oil right now, and they've built a pipeline. They're building it right now through Tanzania because they don't really trust Kenya that much, right? But they're building an oil pipeline through Tanzania into the coast of Tanzania, of course, so that they can export it around the world as well as within Africa. Now, do you know what the European Union did? Well, they put, they guess what? They put embargoes, right? They put sanctions. No, so they put sanctions on Tanzania and Uganda for this. So the point is, with all these new things that the Dwight man is coming up with, ultimately they just don't want you guys to rise, right? And if you don't see this soon, right now, Kenya, Zimbabwe, and a few other countries, I'll pull up which countries, they've just sold a land the size of France, right, throughout like 5 African countries to companies. One company called Carbon Blue, right? Carbon Blue is a carbon tax company that's just opened up recently. They've just bought so much land. Now that land, if these African countries were smart, they would have taken that land, helped some private investors like individuals in those countries, and then just started their own carbon tax companies. But they won't do that. That's now the issue with Africans, right? They need the money in dollars, so they're willing to sell their own land, which they could be growing food or other stuff, just to grow trees, right? And again, I don't know, man. I'm just saying that there's a lot of scamming going on at so many different levels, and the problem is African people don't see it. And this is the latest scam in keeping us poor, right? We're not even the biggest polluters, but we will have to pay these tax just to get by. That's insane. What's good, Adrian?
Yo, what's good? What's good, Kazo? It's been a while. How you been,
Man? What happened? You still healthy?
That's good. That's good, man. How's Kenya, man?
Kenya's all right, man. It's just right now there's no money here. Like the economy is a bit, I don't know, man. Like for most people, the economy is not doing good. Like the pay is reduced.
No, it's not that bad. Listen, UK as well is the you know what I'm saying? It's not easy right now. I think the whole world right now is tough, man. So
everyone is basically struggling right now, right?
Exactly. Everything is, the price is going up for everything because of the Ukraine war and all that stuff. And then after that, a lot of basically everything just goes up nowadays. Expensive as hell. So
yeah, man. I remember like when I left UK like 2 years ago, like meal deal used to be like £2. How much are they now in Tesco's? Have they gone up?
Actually, it's not that bad. It's actually like £4, maybe not £3.
That's £3.
You got a club card. You got a club card. It's £3 something. So,
I see.
Yeah, ain't cheap, man. But other stuff went up. Obviously, like some stuff like wheat and stuff like that. You're trying to get bread, non-bread and stuff like that.
Wait, Kaizo, you know the city I'm from has more GDP than the whole of Kenya.
No way. Come on,
That's true. That's true. Let me screen share.
What city?
The city I live has more GDP than the whole of Kenya.
What's the name of the city?
Stockholm. Let's watch.
Oh, Stockholm. See, you got Stockholm syndrome. That's why you hate Africans.
Wait, pull it up. We have more GDP. Put respect on our name, like please.
Bro, you're immigrant. You're not.
Wait. What's your GDP? What's your GDP? $100 billion. It's the same as Kenya.
It's more than 100 billion. It's 2015.
It's Stockholm in Norway.
Oh my God, Stockholm in Sweden. You don't know geography? What the fuck? Stockholm is the capital of Sweden. Norway's capital is.
Because Norway, you know the thing is, Norway, they have oil. They have a lot of money, man. They are balling.
What I'm trying
I
to
don't know
prove
about Sweden.
is, you know,
I don't know
Kenya
about
is
Sweden.
we're richer than
But
Kenya. That's what I'm trying to
yeah,
prove. Yeah,
Norway
you
is
get it.
like probably one of the richest countries in the world.
But you know what we founded? We founded like a natural resource that is worth like $20 trillion. Yeah,
Oh shit.
we're probably gonna get richer than Norway because we found like uh phosphate and what is that like natural resource that you find in
Gas.
Congo? No.
Oh,
Battery.
Oh shit.
It's not
lithium. They found shitloads of
Lithium.
lithium in Sweden.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sweden,
Oh shit.
Sweden in
this country.
yeah. Wait, let me put it up. Let me
Bro,
find it. The
Kenya's got
news.
no natural resources.
Nah, we got people, man.
I guess.
Nah, but you're right, man. Like, right now, our country is just not got enough going on for them.
You guys are just
That's not the
surviving
problem.
on basically immigrant services and basically
Yeah.
just technology, I guess, a little bit.
Yep.
You're just surviving. Wow.
The problem with
Yeah.
Kenya is if Kenya doesn't trade with another country, they're not gonna last long because we don't really like have anything like material that we can sell to them. So for us, that's why we have to be careful and
Oh, you
maintain
got
like
tea,
good.
you got agriculture and tea and stuff like
Okay,
that.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but right now, remember, Egypt said that they don't have enough dollars to buy Kenyan tea, so they want to barter with us. They want to like trade tea for like something else that they have. They don't want to
Don't
pay
let
for
them
it
do
anymore.
that. Don't let them do that.
Yeah, that's
Egypt,
embarrassing,
they
man.
get billions from military equipment.
Oh yeah, that's true.
America. So, and they get
You're
funded
right.
by Saudi and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So it basically is just
Saudi is
we'll
basically
just.
they're buying some islands of Egypt off the coast,
Mhm.
in the Red Sea. But
Oh wow,
yeah, it's like really
crazy,
small
man.
islands. Isn't it? Yeah.
Kaiser, less than 1% of the Sweden's land is habitable land to humans, you know, and we founded a lot of natural resources, more than Norway, probably. This is worth
Mhm.
like 20 trillion USD, and this is gonna make us so rich because like countries who are ethically they want to source their materials, you know, they're not gonna go to Congo because the Congo has child slavery and less workers, right? And the EU standard is gonna be the EU market is gonna go for Sweden. You understand? And Sweden has a ton of that resources. You know, you get what I mean?
Yeah,
We're probably
that's
we're
crazy.
probably gonna we you know when we built our economy, we didn't have natural resources. It was like companies like the that were invented like IKEA and stuff that made our economy booming. But now, if you add like natural resource and how our government is so stable and so smart, we're gonna take over. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, you guys look at this. Let me show you what this blue carbon company's done. Look at that. Yeah, I'm gonna share my
Let me
screen.
see.
They bought a country. Sorry, it's the size of the UK in Africa, and
Hmm.
it's set up by Saudi royalty. This company.
Yeah. You guys
I don't know if it's my internet must be slow. It says just over a year ago in 2022, members of the UAE royal family set up a private investment company called Blue Carbon to facilitate deals. This company is negotiating purchase rights to about a tenth of Liberia's landmass, a fifth of Zimbabwe's, and swaths of Kenya, Zambia, and Tanzania. The Guardian report said the deal involves land about the size of the United Kingdom. They're buying the size of land of the UK in Africa right now, just so that they can set up this company of theirs. Man, I don't know, man. I think Africa is just cooked, man.
what they're gonna do with that land? They're gonna put their waste or something.
Oh, they're gonna be like growing trees and stuff like that to like for this climate change stuff. Not
Bro,
food, trees.
even America don't allow that. You guys are cocked. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. What's going on?
even America doesn't allow, you know, foreign nations to be near their military, you know, to buy land in their military bases, you know, like, but in Africa it's different because Africa needs money and they'll do anything to get money.
Hey man, we're poor, man. You gotta help us out.
No, but like Africa has, you know,
What we got?
potential. Have you seen
What
like the
potential do we
Congo?
have?
Have you seen? I saw something about the Congo. You know, they're gonna dam the river, the Congo River, and it's gonna. I feel
Bro,
like
they ain't even got roads. How are they gonna do it?
nah,
Putting them
bro. This it's not gonna be. The country is not stable, bro. And what they trying to achieve is actually what China can't even achieve. You know, like it is gonna be insane project. You know, it's gonna be the best project in the whole of Africa because it can like generate energy for whole of Africa. But you need engineers from different nations because like Congo doesn't have these professions. You know, people who know this profession, and the Congo River is something serious because it is like it can kill you. You know, it can flood stuff if you do something wrong like building this stuff, you might just mess it up a whole it might be like, you know, Japan, you know, the fucking Fukushima situation. It can be so
Oh
sad.
yeah,
Yeah, but like
true, true.
I want Congo to have, you know, a dam in the Congo River. I saw something about
All
it.
right.
It could be valuable, you know.
Mhm.
You know, you
Do you
have
believe
countries
in?
like
No, go ahead.
yeah, you have countries like, you know, South Africa and Nigeria. They believe in the project, you know, but they know that it's going to be a scam, you know, because they say the project costs this much, but the project will be double the price. Uh, in the like, you know, they say it, but you know, it's going to be costing a lot more, and something can go wrong, and international investment is going to be destroyed if a project is it's going to be less attractive if you're going to make it double the price, you know. You,
Right, 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 right.
yeah, you say like I need 30 billion, but the project ended up costing 100 billion. Like it destroys, you know, the belief of the project. And I feel like the government is so shit that they couldn't it will be people taking the money, you know, it's not going to go to the project. Maybe Congo in 30 years later can achieve that, but Congo today can't achieve that. Too backwards.
Oh, Congo has a lot of issues, man. Like, I just don't think they're gonna move anywhere soon. Those guys are cucked, man. How are you gonna allow a country the size of Rwanda with 12 million people when you got 100 million plus to be
Rwanda
your
is
biggest
like
enemy?
cooking them.
Exactly. Rwanda is a tiny country and it's cooking these guys, man. How?
uh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. You know, in the Rwanda genocide, maybe the
Hey,
IQ went up yonder.
you need
Like
you need to EAC needs to like take over the eastern part of.
no. Rwanda is high IQ. Let's give it. Rwanda is
They
not.
need
You
to take
know.
over the eastern part of Congo. This is
Yeah.
what you need to
Oh
do.
yeah. Congratulations,
You need to
Ajuran.
divide them. Huh?
Somalia is now part of EAC, so that means that's you now.
Yeah, that's why I said EAC. This guy's not following. Yeah, take part of
No.
the eastern part,
You
and
know,
then just
Rwanda. Look,
you just gotta cut out the southern part,
Congo
and
has the biggest
the
potential. It
eastern
has
part
more
goes to
potential
EAC.
than Ethiopia. You know, Congo is just, full
Yeah,
of
but it's,
potential.
look, it's too big though. That's the problem.
No,
No
it's
one's in
not.
control. No one's in control of it as well. So that means anyone can come in and just do whatever they want. That's why you see militias everywhere. They just do whatever
They
they
have
want.
something going
They
on for
take over this
themselves. You
bit of
know,
land that has resources, and then they just like make sure they camp there, take over that place, and basically they're the
Kaiser.
ones doing the
What I
doing.
think is, you know, Congo is more homogenous than Ethiopia. They have that going for themselves when it comes to religion, or when it comes to like language. It's like you know, it's
Nah, they did. They're
it's more
actually
homogenous
different
than
people.
Ethiopia.
They're different
Let's
people, you
say,
know. They
yeah,
got
the different
pygmies.
people.
Come
Yeah,
on, you
but
can't say they're
they believe
homogenous.
in Christianity. You know,
No, that doesn't mean they're homogenous though. That's different.
I mean homogeneous. Like they have a French culture and they're African and they have the French language and as the native language. And
I mean, their culture is kind of the same. Yeah, I get you.
yeah, but you won't find that in Ethiopia. You will find like thousands of you will find thousands of tribes, but they have something that they can unify under. It could be the French language, it can be the Christianity that will bring them together. But like it has so much potential. It's like Congo is like the Nigeria of East Africa, basically.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Nah, man, they're gonna get pieced up every time, man. It's too easy to control them, bro. So it's not good. Like, anyone can come into Congo and just do whatever they want. End of the day, you have to put your interests first. So if they wanna like take over, if the Congolese wanna do that, they should, but they can't do it. It's too big. The country.
I don't know, but like Kaiser, what is the point of like Rwanda bullying Congo? Is it
Kaiser,
like
what do you think, Kaiser? Don't you think it's just too big to take over the whole area? They can't manage to police the whole area.
Yeah,
They can't even
That's
manage
true,
to
that's
police their capital. Like, it's too much for them. So someone else, the Europeans, the Chinese are just taking over.
I think
UAE is gonna come in soon. So whatever your interest is, you have to take over. If you can't take over, then someone else will take over. And right now, Congo is everyone is like, what I'm saying, everyone's trying to get in the pie. So, and they can't handle it, so they need help. Because it's like everyone's trying to come in at the same time. They can't do nothing about it. It's not even their fault. It's just like if China, UAE, America, all of them coming in, that's like 5v1. You know what I'm saying? And they're rich. They got money.
Yeah, that's true.
They just divide and conquer. They pay this guy to take over this village, and then he gives them the resources. Comes back and just do the same thing on the other side. And the Chinese do the same thing, and Americans do the same thing. So everyone's interests, they're just taken over, and you're just like, by the time you wake up, you already like Congo's divided into like a million pieces. So right now, you think they're divided. Watching like 5-6 years, there's gonna be like 50 different villages, thousands of. It's just gonna be nuts. So at the end of the day, man, the Congolese can't do it. Someone else is doing it, taking over. You get it? At one point,
that's true.
You got to take what you have. If they have the capital or somewhere else, just take that bit and just make that your country or something. I don't know. They have to do something because this is nuts.
100%. And look at No, you're right, man. Look at this. Congo is the second largest countries. Congo is the second largest country by landmass in Africa. There's no way they can take over that space. East African community should just take over the eastern part. You're right.
Yeah, it's too big. Like, what, if you're not using it, what is the point? Like, it's not helping you either as well. Like, I'm not even hating. The thing is not, the land is not helping you. It's actually not helping you. And if you're not in control, how can you say that's your country if you're not in control? You're just like just a land that someone said, oh, that's yours, but you're not even in control of it. You get it? Doesn't make sense.
I mean, but you know what's embarrassing is like kind of like Rwanda is 27,000 square kilometer. That's a tiny country. Congo is 1.35 million square kilometers. How the hell is Rwanda?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's what people think. But think of like Congo like as like 50 different countries, each bit controlled by one militia.
Oh yeah, and then that's true.
All Kagame has to do is go to that one militia, and then just pay him, and that's it. He's got control of that area, and it makes another guy militia go against him if he goes against him. Yeah. So divide and conquer is too easy. The area, just the eastern part, you can do that. Imagine the whole country. That's the problem, bro.
Yeah, and you make a good point there.
I don't know how you can like say that that's your country, and you're not in control of anything really, apart from maybe the capital city. Maybe.
Now they kicked off the EAC now from Congo. saying that they're colluding with the rebels, like from Rwanda.
I mean,
Tutsis.
that's probably true. Like, there's probably Chinese doing the same thing, Russians
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, they kicked out the other ones as well. The other countries like United Nations. Now they invited South Africa in.
I heard, yeah, they invited South Africa. That doesn't make sense to me. That's confusing as hell.
Yeah.
So they're inviting anyone to come and help. You see the problem. You're not even in control. Like, you have to invite South Africa all the way. You know what I mean? That made no sense.
Yeah, what I don't get is still like, okay, at least can't they go and control the eastern part of Congo? Because that's where a lot of the resources are. Go control that part.
Stick to one side, control the best area, and then go from there. Instead of trying to say or control the whole country.
Wait, so this is a country that was under apparently King Leopold, man. That guy owned the largest colony in the world. That's insane.
You know how rich he got? Basically, Belgium is literally Belgium is not even supposed to be a country. Belgium, people say that Belgium is divided into two parts: the German speakers and I think the French or something like that. They don't even speak the same language. Two different cultures. They're not supposed to be a country. The only thing united them is that king. We just stole money from Africa, from Congo. So he just made up his own country. It's there now. It's nuts.
Yeah, his history reset says, what about the Westerners? They seem to disapprove of annexing territories. Who cares about them, man?
That's brother.
They disapprove.
There's no territory that is not controlled right now in Congo by someone else. Apart from the capital, maybe the Congolese do not control nothing.
Yeah.
Where the resources are, there's a militia that's not part of the government. That's getting paid by America, by Rwanda, whatever the hell, foreigners, that are paying them, and they're stealing their resources. And Congolese people, none of them are benefiting. So it's crazy. It's every man for himself.
Nah, man. Look, I just hope that they can get themselves
Oh, you know,
together,
it's reality though. Am I lying though? Isn't it reality? Like, people don't want to accept reality, but that's how it is.
Yeah, look, I think you're right. EAC just needs to go in, invade Congo, stabilize it, and then we move forward. That's the only thing you can do. Right? That's the only thing we can do. Shout out to Brian for $5. He says, "You forgot Uganda, Kazoria. Also pillage the Congo as well." They also pillaged Congo. Okay, United Nations indicted and charged the Ugandan government due to that fact. Oh, interesting. So yeah, I mean, you got M7. I think it probably stands for Museveni, and then you got M23, the Tutsi rebels as well from Rwanda. So yeah, these Tutsis, man. Look, Congo needs to be leveraging this. Yeah, Tutsi seem to be a really good fighters because you got them in Uganda. They're the ones actually ruling right now and causing havoc using M7, and then on M23 side on Rwanda, they're also there. So I don't know, man. I think Congo just needs to do a deal with them. Do a deal or let EAC just come in and colonize them?
Yeah, they have to do more deals because they have so much resources. They should try to leverage whatever they have. So if they have the area, they can say, we're going to help you take over this area where the resources are. Help us out. Give us some money. Give us some soldiers. Boom. Go there. Take over. Bam. You've got all the resources now. It's in your area. You're in control. Boom. That's it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You have to prioritize the areas that have resources. I don't get why are you trying to control the whole country when some of it is just goddamn forest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. What about Ethiopia, right? Because Ethiopia right now, they threaten Eritrea saying that they want war unless they give them access to the sea. They even tried it with Somalia a little bit. They're like, oh yeah, you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Right. The way I see Eritrea right now, it's not looking good for them. Mm-hmm. So Eritrea has been in a bad place for the last 30 years. Nothing going on. No development, nothing going on. So I don't even mind if Ethiopia takes over. I'm not even hating that. It's just, you can't be a country just sitting there. No improvement for the last 30 years. Just a dictator. Everyone running away from the country. You've got about 2 million left now. What can you do? You can't. You've got the biggest area of the Red Sea, and you're not using it right. Someone's gonna take over. At one point, might as well be Ethiopia. So that's it.
They're not even trading, man. They got so much embargoes against them. They got sanctions. They're not producing anything in Eritrea. All they got is some, apparently, like a huge standing army because of they force everyone to join the army, at least do some youth service or whatever it is. So yeah, ideally, man, I don't think it's looking good. Eritrea might get invaded because Ethiopia right now, I have to look at all the projections, man. They seem like they're making good headway in terms of economics, and they don't want to stop that because they ain't got no access to the sea. So yeah, it's not looking good, man. It's not. What's good, chitlins?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm gonna come back in a minute. Yeah.
Good.
Take care, brother.
Oh my God, he's gonna leave already. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be from. Interesting. Ethiopia, Eritrea is plan on. I mean, not yet. Eritrea. Ethiopia is planning on invading Eritrea.
Yep.
What is going
they
on?
made it. Yeah. Well, okay.
No, I'm just saying. No, globally, this is happening in our part of the world too.
Yeah. Good point.
You know what I mean? It's happening between Guyana and Venezuela. Venezuela talking about. I mean, this is very, very strongly now. This is kind of like getting a lot more press in the Ethiopia Eritrea situation due to a lot of different factors. Because I guess I forgot the region was called. The East Chibo area in Guyana has a lot of oil, and in Guyana they has been getting the oil is helping them develop their economy, whereas Venezuela is pretty much I forgot what was, I don't know the whole gist what's going on in Venezuela, but what I'm getting or what I'm seeing, in a news clip, the economy is pretty much faltered.
Yeah. And
they're making territorial claims in that region as well. And they're talking about invading it. Now, mind you, if we talk about demographically, the demographics of Guyana, I think, is part Indian. As far as demographically, people of Indian descent. Obviously, another huge percentage of people of African descent, 10% of indigenous people, and others there. So it's pretty much interesting. In Venezuela, a very, very ethnic country, along with Europeans and some blacks and some natives too. So the whole situation there is pretty much interesting as far as what's transpiring. Whether Venezuela invaded or not, it's interesting drama what's going on in this part of the world.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that whole Venezuela situation, I think they may actually end up invading at some point, because I've done a little bit of the background research, and they've always had a land dispute. But the problem is, the other country,
Guyana.
You said Guyana, right? They don't really have a way to protect themselves, right?
They don't. They hardly have a military, bro.
Say that again.
They hardly have a military.
Exactly. Now this is probably what 2023 is showing us. If maybe Tunajo's right all these years, military, because right now, because they're neighbors, right? No one in the international space will physically get involved. They might put sanctions on Venezuela, but if Venezuela now is doing so much better economically because they're able to trade, obviously in oil, that might not even be enough of demerit. You get the point. So this is kind of interesting. And also the president of Guyana, he doesn't look like he has much charisma. He doesn't look like a president. I don't know if you know what I mean, but I'm not getting.
What do you mean? I mean, because he been trying to present, present his case throughout the Western media, and I mean, he's a young guy. He's young.
Yeah.
It looks like he's like in his probably late 30s, early 40s or whatnot.
Yeah.
I know that they're about to have a meeting, him and the president of Venezuela, and I'm wondering. I think they already had it. How did it come out? Because I think Venezuela is going to attack it, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's going to attack it. And I know the United States is training the Guyanese, I guess, military air force, but I wonder how effective it's going to be, and how will America participate in this conflict? Because I think who's in there is Exxon Oil, who might have some stakes in it. So God knows what's going to happen.
I see. Of course. So you brought up an interesting point. Remember when Somalia had a dispute over the ocean space with Kenya? Now, Somalia took Kenya to the International Criminal Court. Well, actually, no, it's ICJ, right? International Court of Justice, I believe. It wasn't, it was ICJ. And they said, no, actually, that land, majority of it is Somali's land. They gave Kenya like an eighth of that land. They couldn't just give all of it to Somalia because Kenya would be like, what the hell? But in the end, what happened is Kenya refused to accept the judgment. But here's the thing. What this meant, though, is that the oil, because the reason why Kenya wanted that land is because it's got a lot of offshore oil. So the offshore oil, Kenya can continue doing its thing, like using its shipping lines through there, or even fishing and stuff, because no one cares. But Kenya can't go and ask a Norwegian company, for example, to come and extract that oil, because that's a lot of investment. And then if it turns out that you get the point, so now it means investors are going to be a bit wary from getting that oil off the shores.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is investors might be wary of investing billions of dollars in Venezuela's new puppet state after they've invaded them, because they're going to be like, I don't know, investing this much money and then losing it all. So what that means is Venezuela would have to get the money themselves to put up front to build the infrastructure for drilling. Then the companies will just be running it for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. I wonder, will Venezuela try to take the whole entire country?
That's a good point. I think okay.
Because that'd be half the territory right there.
Yeah. Now, I think what matters, what do those people identify as? Because the other thing, do they see themselves more, the people in that disputed area?
Oh, the people in that disputed area are indigenous people, mainly. Those who live in the Amazon. I mean, you do have Guyanese, probably of African and from India descent, but what I got from the news, the people there are indigenous.
I see.
Indigenous folks. But they do identify with the country of Guyana, though. I mean, English speakers along with their own languages as well, but they do identify as being Guyanese. So, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. No, that definitely adds a lot more context to it, because I wanted to know, like, which side do they really, identify with? But so are you trying to say there might be, because if they're neutral, then it's going to be much harder for Guyana's case.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the indigenous people in the forests are really neutral about anything. I mean, because I would say Guyana, I have to give them credit as far as allow the people to preserve their culture. Whereas I'm not dissing Latin America, but is a tendency in Latin America to Latinize everything, and then you forget your old identities. Whereas in Guyana, it seems like they have better preservation of it. I mean, that's just my take on it.
Okay, I see. So generally, the culture becomes Latinized, etc.
Well, it in certain Latin American countries, because I'm very familiar with Mexicans and stuff like that. You could be yeah, you could be indigenous, but switch and become the greater part of mestizo culture by relinquishing your indigenous language, speaking Spanish, and then you become part of society. It's a lot more nuance in comparison to the Anglo world.
Okay, I see. So in this situation, what I'm seeing is with Venezuela and Guyana, unfortunately, Venezuela might just have to do it, because right now, even if they get sanctions, selling oil, I mean, oil is one of those things that you can't go wrong selling. And I'm sure American companies will be buying it off on the side anyways from them, or etc. So I don't really see them a reason. Let's go to the population wise. Let me check online. population of Guyana is probably like 5,000.
No, it's about 800,000.
Oh, 800. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real
But
country.
Venezuela is in the millions.
All right. You see, now that's a big difference. Yeah.
A
It's
very big
800,000.
difference. Like Venezuela population is,
Oh,
what is
28
it?
million. Yeah. That's so it's 28 times.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
28.2 million.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. That's basically 30 times the population. So, whatever is gonna, yeah. Look, if a war happens, there's no way Guyana is gonna be able to defend themselves. They'll just have to surrender. Because
You
think
think?
about it, right? Yeah, yeah. Look, with Ukraine and Russia, there was a lot of strategy, in the Western countries supporting them, giving them weapons and um, yeah, giving them weapons and all that kind of stuff, right? Money and hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent already on Ukraine, right, in the last 2 years, because it is in their benefit, right? These countries are part of NATO. We're talking about UK, Germany. I don't know if France gave much money, but Germany, UK, America, Canada, all these countries are supporting Ukraine because Ukraine is their guy. But why would America support Guyana right now? Is Venezuela like some communist country or something crazy?
Well, I know Venezuela has a lot of. I mean, the president. I mean, because Venezuela is pretty much divided. Then with Maduro, I forgot. I think his name is Maduro, versus the other person who the United States, supported, and they feel that the current president there is not legitimate. However, the United States, voted against his. I mean, pretty much backing his opponent, whereas Russia is backing and China is backing the guy who's currently president in Venezuela now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Ooh, this is interesting. This is actually definitely interesting. So don't tell me Venezuela is also going to be one of these BRICS countries and stuff.
I hope not. You don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't need that. You do not need them being part of the BRICS countries.
Yeah.
But they do get their backing from Russia. I mean, the current president does.
Mm-hmm.
And he supposedly supports, because Venezuelans, how do they identify is by, I guess, skin color. Like half of the population consider themselves brown.
Okay, so
and
like
another part of half of the population consider themselves white.
Interesting.
So it's just
okay, the brown part. Do they look like Puerto Ricans, or what sort of brown are they?
They're a combination of everything. They, some of them look mestizo. Some of them look, you do have a black population there. Some of them look like a mixture of all three races, black, white, and indigenous. So it really depends. It varies. And then some just look white.
Okay, interesting. Okay. Kidola, I don't know if you're ready to talk or you're having a pounded yam.
Pasta.
But,
or you're pounding something else.
But Guyana, it's just Indians, blacks, some mix, and then you also have indigenous people who live in the forest.
The way you said it about the forest stuff, that definitely sounds sus, like you're making fun of them. Like,
no, I'm not making. I mean, it's just a reality. I mean, you have indigenous people who live in the rainforest, and in South America, there's uncontacted tribes who refuse to have contact. Mm-hmm. I mean, they do have contact with other tribes who have contact with the outside world due to the fact that some of these uncontacted tribes have axes and shit.
Oh yeah.
So those tribes who probably have contact with the outside world probably is warning them about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And so they hide deep in the forest, or they just trade with other tribes who have contact. I mean, they've been finding uncontacted, Native American tribes with pots and pans and stuff that you might get at Walmart or something. You know what I mean? They didn't get that shit out of nowhere.
But like these tribes, though, why don't they like evolving, becoming modern? Like, do they really enjoy that lifestyle, or like what's going on? Is it the government like gaslighting them? Like, oh yeah, you should remain this way because this is a culture and tradition. I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, there's some people who do not don't want to be part of our world. I mean, they're a small group. I mean, They're not sure how many. I mean, I think from satellite technology, they could spot them where they at on how deep they are. Because the Amazon rainforest is very deep, Case. So it's the biggest jungle in the planet.
Oh, wow. I see. Yes. It's
the problem there. The problem there about Guyana.
Go ahead.
The Indians, well, being the Indians they brought from the real India and the blacks, they're not really friendly with each other like that. You understand?
I agree.
So if there's a war between Guyana,
wait, which Indians? The Red Indians or the
no,
East
not
Indians?
the native. I'm talking about the ones that
the ones that they brought from India.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Those people have the way they look at the black. They have the way they look at the black people, the Africans there, and that caused a lot of tension. And you have to understand, during the colonial time, these Indians were they were just kind of like almost molesting the African women. That's that miss came. It's not like the men was going to miss with the Indian women. It was the men who were missing with some of this African, taking advantage of them because of their lower class system. And and up to today, they say kind of like it's almost like Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago also have similar type of problem also, whereby in an election time, the Africans want to stay the Africans, the Indians, they in a way secretly they hate each other. So Venezuela can take an advantage of that. Well, because Venezuela still have some law for some Africans, heavily law, because even those are called brown also mixed with blacks. They still have that kind of drum beating of that culture towards the Africans. So Venezuela, the Africans will easily betray the Indians. That's why you see the so-called president of Guyana is not charismatic, because it's kind of like a little bit miss. You understand? So if you miss Negroes with India, you have a very boring, dory people. You understand?
He does look very boring, man. He ain't got no much charisma.
You're right. So that's why Negroes should never miss with Indians. You know what I mean? This so-called Southeast Indians. Because if you miss with them, your children become boring. You don't know what they belong to.
Now, here's my brother from Nigeria. Now, do you feel should Venezuela invade Guyana?
Not at all. Not at all. I think they can settle this. Look, I think it would be a mistake for Venezuela to invade their neighbor, their smaller neighbor. I think that will not be a good neighbor. That will not be friendly, because Venezuela they have a vast oil. I think they can share the resources together. You understand? They can share the resources together there. So I don't think invading them, for what? For something that you have to kill a lot of people. Guyana is weak. The population is almost like a district like a county in Venezuela. So what you have to do, you should negotiate this land problem of existing, for a very long time. Don't let nobody come and influence you from the back and say, "Oh, we'll support you." Nobody's going to support you. When that battle started, you're going to bear the whole brunt. I think, yeah. You see, Venezuela is a little bit united, because they speak, because they've been together for so long, they're so intermixed that they see themselves as Venezuela first, even when they see undertone racial something in Venezuela, because the white Venezuela also a problem in Venezuela also, compared to these red ones. You understand? But the white Venezuelans are very few in population.
Right, because I know it's kind of divided among the Venezuelans.
The
whites versus the people who are brown or what have you.
Yes, The brown ones are more like Africa-related roots than mixed with the natives. The white ones are more like the natives and the Indians, the indigenous there. So they're kind of like buffer class over there too. But in a way, Maduro is from the African root mixed with native. You understand me? You can see the whole division there. But you could say, okay, there's life with this because the Africans put more life into Venezuela. You can see their salsa dance, the way they move. You can see the Africanness in their body shape. But oh man, if you mix with Indians, if Negroes mix with Indians, man, you're gonna have that man who called himself president of Ghana, boring and everything. So why should you go and mix with one mistake you make is you Indians, Indians they brought from the British brought my brother. They don't like black people. They don't like African descendants people. They're just pretenders because the one they brought are the lower class in India. They're untouchable. So those was also bringing the class system where they brought it to. Also in Kenya, do you think Kenya today? Do you think the Indians they are the real upper class India in India? I know. These are like the untouchable in India they brought to Kenya, the lower class ones. Then I become like, oh, I'm India, I'm not the upper class. So Kenya, that's why Jomo Kenyatta or whatever that guy's name were not really in favor of them because they were being used and they were replaying the game heavily. The same thing went to India, Uganda. They are the lower class of Indians they brought. But because the Africans already know their class system at that time, they just see them as white. Whereby these people are like dark skin color with their funny type of hair texture, but they can play the class system because where they're coming from is all class. That's why Idi Amin, when Idi Amin know much about it, that's why Idi Amin was pissed. Idi Amin has to get leave this country within some few hours. Because when you know much about them, you want to send them packing. The same thing happened also in Nigeria. Because they came to Nigeria as a professional workers. Man, these people were like demanding all kind of things. They were really, really to like, because I have them as my chemistry teacher, physics teacher when I was in secondary school. Indians, they are ruthless. When they want to punish you, they punish you harshly. But 1995, the Nigerian government asked them to 1985, something 86, 87, the Nigerian government asked them to leave. They have to accept the salary of a Nigerian teaching scale, or they should leave immediately within a week. And they all left because Nigeria is very stubborn, and unfinished business can happen there also. That's what you see now. Kenya, when I look at Kenya is naming them as the fifth. I don't know how many. What tribe are they in Kenya? Kazu.
Like 44th tribe of Kenya right now.
Okay, you forgive them the 44th tribe in Kenya. How about the Africans they took to India? Did they have anything there? No, they live in the jungle, big time jungle. With heavy snakes. They're big kind of like discriminated. They're fed. They only just bring them.
Yeah, but Kidola, this is interesting. Most of the Caribbean Indians are usually okay. So what I'm asking is, were the Guyanese Indians somehow like the Brahman or higher class Indians? Because in the rest, not all of it, but in other parts of the Caribbean, the Indians integrated well because a lot of them were the lower caste Indians themselves, not the lowest, but lower class. So are the Guyanese Indians somehow from the upper class? Because in East Africa, they are all from the upper class, right? These are Gujaratis mostly, and these were not, these were mostly Brahmin class. So that's why they don't mix with the Kenyans, right? Like maybe the Pakistanis the only people here will mix with the Kenyans who are from that culture are Pakistanis, and that's because Islam, allows it because there's no class in Islam apparently, right? Obviously there is. Arabs are superior, but there's no stated class. So a question I'm asking, does anyone in the chat or the panel know if the Guyanese Indians were the higher class Indians or not?
The one that brought to mostly to these Caribbeans and other African regions, my brother, these are the lower class of Indians. These are the ones. These are the ones that want to escape the hardship of their own people. So the British could easily ship them and brought them to later. I think in later part when things started getting booming, a little bit upper class came to Kenya and Uganda. But the first one that came really to, I think, to Africans, they are like the most the rejected ones, the ones that they were seeing something out of them, because you have to understand, it's almost like it's like they call it let's say they call it pay labor, whatever called pay labor workers, but it's more or less like almost like a slave thing also. But later they were being used as I don't know what Africa, I don't know, because none of you in Africa we call it prefect. Prefect means somebody in the class, but they have a prefect, somebody that's it's an English word, somebody that is taking care of the class. Like everybody says, no, sit down. When it's too harsh, we go and report to the teacher, to the head teacher of the class. This person is making noise. This person is disturbing. So what happened? I'm using the old colonial way of the British now. The British have what called prefect. It's almost like a scout system also. Scout is part of that also class also. So the Indians they brought almost used as a prefect to whip the Africans, to spy on them, to say things against them. So the Indians were like this, the one that serve the food, while the Africans were the one cooking it and cleaning the pot. You get what I mean? So in Kenya, if you check most Kenyan movies,
for any
at that time,
takeover,
the Indians were the ones serving
nobody
the
has informed us
serving the meal.
actually. Now it is being put on the table by us here as leaders, trying
Okay,
to
this is the
inform
Native
our
American
people
guy.
of the dangers that is above us.
Good morning. Yes, put the one. The hammer one. Yes. A really wonderful organic grown watermelon here. 1,200, 600, 700. We are praying, we are hoping, and we are having faith that
Kazo, if this Indian speak English, so this place belongs to Guyana.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they speak English, I see that they can speak very, very good English.
I will
So
tell you
this place belongs to
nobody,
Guyana.
indigenous people are not prepared for any takeover. Nobody has informed us actually. Now it is being put on the table by us here as leaders, trying to inform our people of the dangers that is above us.
Okay, do you think they would have been safer if they never left the UK? If they never left the colonizers, because right now they're struggling just to survive.
No, this place belongs to the Ghana. Look, if they speak good English like this, so that means the people that colonized the people that colonized maybe the other part of Guyana also colonized them. So this part belong to Guyana. Only the population of these people is very, very small, and Guyana population is also very, very small. I think Venezuela just try to bully a smaller population to submission. That's just the truth, because they don't speak no Spanish. If they have speaking the other side of the language, or that might be the Spanish language, it's okay. Oh, it's really for Venezuela, but it's for them. I want to ask something. Sort of black Americans always said these Indians in America are $5 Indians, the native. These people doesn't look nothing like. So you could see that the real native Indians of United States are the real native Indians. You can see how related they are. You understand? So I don't understand why black Americans always say they are the real Indians, the real Indians. I tried to check all the Indians close to Venezuela, close to Guatemala, Ecuador, Mexico. They all look related. You understand me? They all look related. So I don't understand what means the Indians of America. Oh, we were here already. Rick is also saying the same nonsense. Oh, we were here already. We're black. You can see look, man. I don't understand, man. That's just the truth.
Don't try to understand stupidity, bro, because you're just going to be dwelling down that hole.
I think Ghana needs some protection to protect them against Venezuela invasion, because it's
now. Do you think it's worth protecting Guyana?
The people that come and protect them, they also want to rip them off.
That's true. That's true.
Understand me? So that land, they assume United States is closer. Let's do some private military men. Maybe they brought them over there to protect that territory. Definitely, they will be the colonialist of that place also. because they also come with their family. Money is being boomed there. Mansion is being built. Everything is being done. So that territory will almost be cut off out of Ghana's hand.
What is pretty much interesting in this situation, the saga, Brazil have thousands of troops, which Brazil do border Guyana and in Venezuela. 1,000 troops at the borders right now as we speak.
Yes, that is why Brazil will also like to get part of the power too there. That's just the truth. If Venezuela come in, Brazil will also come in. It's like no man's land in that territory. So Brazil will like to get piece of the pie of that land. The land look fertile. There's oil in that land. Brazil also would, so that's why America in a way don't want to be involved. Let's just be honest. America in a way don't want to be involved because you'll be clashing with people who might not actually like you. The Venezuela will not like you. The Brazilians will not like you.
Venezuela don't like us at all. I mean, United States.
So if America is involved in that space, you will start saying there's a war that happened, I think, in Suriname, whereby this kind of thing happened also, whereby the Africans of Suriname were fighting, I think, the government then of Suriname. And the government of Suriname at that time was like an Indian.
You're talking about the Africans who lived in the forest. Those
the Africans that live in the forest because it's about gold. So the Africans want to dominate the gold, like the gold belonged to them. And that battle was like they could link up with the other Brazilian Africans. You understand? So the Brazilian Africans were trooping in to help the Africans in Suriname. So it was like the battle. So they defeat the India-related looking type of government at that time. So that's why I say you need an African blood for you to be strong, because the black Surinamese were really fighting them. They stood their ground, fought them out. They could go and connect inside that border territory with the Africans of Brazil, ask them for help, and those guys trooping into like guerrilla war. They defeat these people. They defeat these people big time. So the native Indians are a little bit not too. They say they're warriors, but I could see they're not really aggressive.
It depends on what Native American group. I would say the ones in probably Ecuador, Peru, and Bolivia, they're a lot more numerous as population, or even like Bolivia case, it's pretty much 90%, almost 90% Native American. In Peru, the populations, and they had so many different wars and coups, and I think it was a coup that happened in Peru just recently. I think a few months ago. It really depends on the native group.
If an African person dominate that territory, those African group will form their own army to defend that land, and they will fight in that place. So the Indians in that territory have to also fight for their land so that they can gain the land, because there's money there. Otherwise, the Brazilians are coming in. If Venezuela come in, the Brazilians are coming in. That's just true. That's the big truth. It's free for all there. You understand? It's just free for all. It's just like what happened in Congo when the Rwanda started coming in. When they think the Congolese are weak. That's just the truth. The Kenyans also, the Kenyans also, that's why the Kenyans invade Somalia also. In that name of to protect or something like that. If you're weak, the stronger will like to invade you. Guyana is very weak.
Not easy want to come in. He's trying to get in.
Yeah, Nakmizi is a.
No, he knows Latin America very well.
Yeah. I like his experience a lot. He's the only FBA guy I think I like a lot. He's straightforward talker. People see him as somebody that is aggressive, but I like the guy, man. Brian, man, also with you, man, I understand a lot. Also, bro, that's just the truth, Maybe age of 18 might contribute.
Brian didn't grow up with single mothers, that's why.
Oh yeah.
You're a mess, bro. You're a mess. Factual.
Bro, what part of the state you from?
Originally from New York. I grew up in Long Island.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's
I moved to California. It's interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting case. So I had this conversation with a person who I know grew up in the hood in LA.
Give the links.
And it's very much so. Let me just say it like this. From our conversation, we grew up in two different worlds in that aspect.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like a city boy, Burna Boy sing with.
Now, I grew up in the suburbs, you know.
New York, that's a big city, man. That place big city for years since America was being founded. So,
no, I grew up in the suburbs, but growing up in Compton and listening to their experiences is very different.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, people shouldn't be brought up with one parent. I mean, you're already like bringing in poverty. Just a simple fact: your friends got two people bringing in some kind of income. You've only got one. Also, there's childcare as well. I mean, it just. Look, I just tell you, guys.
Because of fathers, my father had 4 wives, you know, in a big compound. I grew up in a polygamous home. My father was having 4 wives, so I have a lot of brothers. At that time, I've 32.
One question: how many brothers and sisters you got? Because I was talking to one of my good friends.
The one I know inside our house was 32.
Oh wow! Same thing with my friend. Even though his father was just everywhere. His father had 25 children.
so
multiple different women. And I was just totally flabbergasted.
So my father had 4 wives. The same, we're all living together, right? My father had 14 rooms, big house. So that's the one I know. I'm not talking about the side chick, children outside and everything. So when we wake up, the thing that unites us is my father. We're not talking, we're brothers, because the head of the man is there. So we didn't really see, our father was always there, but with a lot of women. So some of these women, sometimes my mother was the first wife inside. So sometimes these women have problems. They fight among themselves with mouth and everything. But we don't allow it to affect us as the children. So we kind of like keep peace, but sometimes there's tension, you know, but sometimes we just think, no, we just, you know, we mother this, you know, but it's a lot of polygamous. It's a lot of people.
Yeah. One second, let me just shout out to this show quickly. And then I'm easy. Yeah. Shout out to Spellcaster for the $10. Appreciate you from PayPal. And also this guy, what's his name? Chitlins and Greek. Shout out to Chitlins and Greeks over there for $5 super chat. Appreciate you as well. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe, Dusties. But yeah, Nagmeezy, go ahead.
We want to hear your take on the situation.
How you doing, brothers? I know who Chitlins and what's his name is. Shout out to that brother for donating. So look, I tuned in on Suriname, and just to toot my own horn,
please do.
I was contacted about 2 weeks ago, and I just confirmed yesterday to take a speaking role, a paid speaking role to a Surinamese community in conjunction with the government of the province of Tilburg in the Netherlands about how the diaspora should cope with the effects of slavery and colonialism in the Netherlands. Okay, so this is something that I'm pretty knowledgeable on. And I asked the guy, I'm like, are you sure you want, because the guy knows me. I'm like, are you sure you want me to speak? Because there's going to be white people there. But, you know, I don't just shoot at white people. I have the whole mentality, HOE, honesty over everything. So there's going to be some uncomfortable truths about the Maroons in Suriname as well. About Bonnie. He was one of the Maroons that was a freedom fighter. He was legit. Some others were not legit. If you look into Maroon history, they ran away and they took people with them that they could, and they would launch attacks on plantations and try to save family members and also people that were on a plantation and bring them back to the forest. Here they call them bosnegers, which means jungle niggers. Okay? That's what the Dutch people call them, bosnegers. And there's some people that call themselves bosnegers. And they're from that group. They speak a language called Alkaans, which is which is very similar to what they speak in Ghana, or at least the Akan language. They have very similar, like almost unbroken cultural, phenotypical, and just they're Africans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to speak to them, you know, and just talk about the mentality, you know, what faces us. You know, I don't come with no white or black victim shit, so that may not go over too well with them. But my point is that a lot of people idolize the Maroons, and there is a lot of good with them. But there's also, in modern day, air of superiority, which I won't speak to them about, that they are the pure Africans, and the Creoles from Paramaribo are the mixed people, and blah, blah, blah. And they say they weren't slaves. I had to cook one because she said, why are we listening to a Black American here in Holland, and he's a descendant of slaves? We're not descendants of slaves. I said, how did you get to Suriname? On a slave ship. Well, then you were enslaved. How do you, having run from Suriname, run from the plantation, still have a Dutch last name when you supposedly never were a slave? So they don't like to get G-checked, but they were very nice people. But there was a lot of sellouts among the of the Maroons. So they went into contracts with the Dutch to say, look, if you stop freeing our other enslaved Africans, we will stop hunting you down in the forest. So they made an agreement with the devil, essentially. And on top of that, they were also used to quell slave rebellions. You see what I'm saying? So it's not all peaches and cream with them, but I do admire that they have kept largely at least their West African, what is now known as Ghanaian culture, intact. If you look at certain videos, they eat monkeys. They skin them. They eat monkeys. They're dancing. Their style of dress. You can look at how they wear their gold, because Suriname is a very gold.
One question after you finish. I want to have a question for you.
Yeah. What did you say, Kaiser?
Wait, did you just say that the monkeys is the African cultural part?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only African, there's other cultures around the world that eat monkeys. What I'm saying is that their diet is very similar to what they were eating in Africa. You know what I'm saying? And yes, monkeys is their cuisine. You can Google or you can YouTube Suriname Maroons eat monkeys, and something will come up. They skin them shit. They look like little people. But anyway, what's up, brother? You wanted to ask me a question?
Yeah. I've never eaten monkeys before.
Several different questions. Okay, with the Maroon population, as we know, they escaped, I guess, what is in the verges of the Amazon rainforest.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know there's indigenous people that live in the forest. What was the relationship between the two groups?
Very good question. And the relationship as of today is a lot better, but I'll keep it 100 with you. The relationship between Native Americans and Hindustanis is better than the relationship between Amazonian Indians and the enslaved Africans. The Hindustanis will say they got smoke for the descendants of the Dutch. They got smoke for, they bought the slaves here, and this is our land. So they kind of G-check them. They have smoke for the Indonesians that went there, the Chinese. So wherever the Dutch VOC laid their colonial claws, they brought them to Suriname to build it up. Actually, Suriname was an exchange for New York. Yeah, it was an exchange for New York. So England gave up Suriname. Well, I think it was called British Guyana at that time. I'm not sure. But they gave up Suriname in exchange, and the English took New York because New York was New Amsterdam. Now it's New York. But Suriname was part of that trade deal. But so to answer your question, it's not as bad as it used to be, but they're not lovey-dovey. You feel me?
Right. I mean, I was just wondering because if I was an indigenous person in the forest, would I feel these Maroons coming in the forest in the Amazon? Because the Amazon have many different tribes as some sort of invader to their territories. And it seems like the Maroons pretty much survive because the Amazon, because, you know, a lot of people don't survive that region in particular, you know what I mean? Especially if you might have hostile neighbors.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there was some sort of like, you know, territorial issues. Maybe they made agreements. But the thing that's kind of admirable about the Native Americans in South America is that they refused to be slaves. They tried to enslave them.
Right.
They would just rather die. They wasn't working. They were literally shut down mentally. So then they bought indentured servants from India.
Yeah.
To replace the free labor from enslaved blacks. And those Indians that came to Suriname, what they did is they started, you know, clearing land, starting businesses, and they do much better than the black Suriname people, who are, again, like black people worldwide, are pretty much at the bottom of the totem pole as it comes to socio-economic issues. And then when you look at the Maroons, they're like almost like a I don't want to call them an othered people, but they're like they're not popping, so to speak, but they're there. You understand?
And I want to hear your take on the situation that's going on between Guyana and in Venezuela. I mean,
Brazil? Venezuela.
Yeah, what's your take on that? Is in regards to a possible war in that region? All the different international actors who might be involved. Obviously, the United States is pretty much training the Guyanese military, I guess the Air Force, helping them out. Also, Maduro and the division within Venezuela, you know, where one of the presidents of Venezuela, the opposite party is, you know, American focused. America's pretty much support him, and Maduro's pretty much Russia focused. And his whole annexation, and we all know it's about oil of Guyana. What's your take on all that?
Well, it just came up on my news feed like 2 weeks ago, so I'm not too versed on it. But what I do know about America's meddling in Venezuela, they tried to install some guy, some young-looking guy, like a couple of years ago. I don't know what's going on with that. I rented a room in one of my houses to a black Venezuelan, and he pretty much told me that the political situation there is shit. People are getting kidnapped, so I couldn't get much out of him because of that. Because they kind of move around, kind of scared, like scared of, like, you know, Maduro assassins or whatever. So I don't know much about it, but what I do know is that is it Guyana?
It's Guyana.
Guyana will get their ass whooped by the Venezuelan military if they ever go to war. I'll tell you that much.
We all know that.
Yeah.
it's kind of like, if it wasn't for the United States, it would have been taken over by now.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Now, basically, what is the relationship between the Africans and the Surinamese, the Negro Surinamese in your country?
And, they call them boo-boos. It's a derogatory term that they have for Africans. They call them boo-boo. And I found this out from my Hausa barber who hooked up my Ghanaian visa. I asked him, because I'm like, yo, the Surinamese people, you know, they're not like the people from Curacao. Y'all cool with them? He was like, nah, they don't like us. They call us boo-boo. And then I did research on it, and they got smoke for Africans as well. I think I made a video maybe 5 years ago on the Ashanti King taking a visit to, it's called, what is the Ashanti King, whatever the fuck his name is, what is he doing in Suriname? So what happened?
Osei Tutu.
Osei Tutu, yeah. So he went there. They welcomed him. It was like a whole entourage. But apparently, he didn't drop the bag. Because when the Indians go to visit the Hindustani community or delegates from India, they drop the bag. Apparently, these people didn't drop a bag on them. So I think that they understand where they come from, but I think they're cool with being from where they are. I also watched another documentary where Maroon went to Ghana, and a Ghanaian dude was showing him all about his people, and he almost really didn't give a fuck about where the guy from Suriname was from. So he was like, "Yeah, well, I'm from Suriname. Do you know about us?" And he was like, "No, but I'm sure you will tell me." Like, there's from a lot of diasporans, they have this longing to be accepted or even to be recognized by Africans, but Africans got their own shit going on, so they're not really thinking about those that were the descendants of people who were sold, 300 years ago. So it is what it is.
Okay, shout out. We'll come back to some of what you've said. Actually, I've learned a lot. I did not know that they were used, like the Nigerians in Congo, to cuck other black people that were trying to be free. So that
What
definitely
do you
leads
mean
to saying,
what do you mean by they're used by Nigerians, man? Let me ask
oh,
Nakmezi.
right.
Let me
Now,
hold
Weezy
on,
told
hold
me
on. Let
that.
me ask, hold
Yeah.
on. Let me ask Nakmezi some because you have more. I want to ask because certain things I want to know more. Nakmezi, do you think all the Surinames actually came from Ghana, or it kind of like might be, if we do DNA on them, what is the percentage of the Ghanaian tribes that came to Suriname anyway?
I would say that their DNA is probably in the high 70s, going straight to what is now known as Ghana. If Kaiser would just search Aukans, Aukans language, or another. Have you guys already done this? Have you looked at the Maroons and their culture?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, no, but has Kaiser already done it for this show?
Nope. You know what it is. You know what it is.
Okay, let me
you can research Alcans, and they can communicate with the Ghanaians.
Yeah,
There's similar words.
Let me just correct that. Akans are not only in Ghana. Okay, Akans are in Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. Okay, or Ivory Coast. So there is a Maroon tribe in French Guyana called the Boni. So the Boni were in Suriname, and they revolted and they ran away and they crossed the border of Suriname and they reached right next to the border. Where they entered right to the border of French Guyana. So French Guyana, they speak French. So
Right.
2 years, I think 2019, a bunch of Maroons, which call themselves the Boni in French Guyana, went to visit Cote d'Ivoire. And these guys, they maintained their Akan language and they were speaking with the Akan people of Cote d'Ivoire and they understood each other pretty much well. So I think they both came from Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana.
Yeah, it was definitely Ghana as well, because they come from Cromanti. Like they will tell you. There's I want him to just Google this shit or YouTube it. Is Jesus Suti, Jezus?
Yeah. I saw it. When they were
Jesus
speaking,
Suti.
yeah, I saw it. There was Goosebump. Was having some Goosebump over there, man. Bro, what do you call that name again in French Guyana? Those tribes, what do you call them?
Boni.
Boni.
Maroons, French Guyana. Because even the Guyanese, the Guyana you guys are just talking about, they also believe that most of them came from Ghana because they also had a slave revolt that actually worked in Berbice. There's a place called Berbice in Guyana. This revolt was actually before the Haitian one, and the person who led the revolt is called Kofi. Now, Kofi is a very common Akan name, so yeah, it is what it is.
When I started, I said, when I started talking about Maroons, I did speak about Boni. Okay. And Boni, and I mentioned that he was one of the good Maroons. You see what I'm saying? So they come from the general area in West Africa, but definitely in Ghana. And now I'm hearing Ivory Coast. But if you look at their rituals, how they dress, how they talk, their phenotype, it's African. That's why when people talk that, oh, Haitians are the most African outside of Africa, I'm like, nah, it ain't Haitians, it ain't Brazilians. It's a group of people in the jungles of Suriname called the Maroons.
Mm-hmm. Now, Joe, how do you feel about the situation that's going on between Venezuela and Guyana?
Yo, first of all, I'd like to say I actually came live just because of you, Brian. Brian, I mean, Happy New Year's. Like, I'm not for this December, but like for 2 years ago. Happy New Year's 2 times. Merry Christmas, man. Happy birthday 2 times, man. Long time, man.
You too, my brother. You too, my brother.
Missed you, man. Nice to see you in good health and everything. That's great.
Yeah, I am.
You know, like,
what about me, Jo?
No, like me, I just talked to you like 6 months ago.
We had an argument.
Yeah, that was like 6 months ago, bro. So you know, you're still fresh, man. Don't worry, bro.
All right, cool.
I'm kidding. Nice
how do you
see
feel
you,
about
man.
that? What's your thoughts on that? I mean, since Maduro is pretty much supported by Russia.
Yeah, he is. In fact, you know what? I feel so bad unless I leave the live for 30 minutes and I come back, because my neighbor is from Guyana. He's Afro-Guyanese. So I've always wanted to ask him, but I've just been so busy. I've never asked him. So unless he's not going to come online, I know him. But unless I go, I ask him and I come back. So, yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about it? I mean, hearing from the news and the possibility of a war.
You know, I hear everything about Guyana from my neighbor. And before this whole thing, like, let me tell you one thing. Like, Guyana is so divided, man. It's so fucked up. It's divided. The country is so racist, and it's just like America, but it's not white and black. It's Indian and black. And the previous president was Afro-Guyanese, and then now this new president, his name is Ali whatever, who is actually gay. He rigged the election and the Indians ruled. So now, like, the Afro-Guyanese don't give a fuck. So I know even about this thing. If I ask my neighbor, I'm sure he's just gonna be like, I don't give a fuck, seriously. But yeah, of course, the Russians, I think, are supporting Venezuela, and Americans are supporting Guyana because of the oil that's just been found in Guyana, which the Indian government is just stealing everything and nothing is given to the people. And the Americans also helped to put this Ali gay guy in power. So yeah, I will need to talk to Vaughn and ask Vaughn more about this thing, but I know he doesn't give a shit. So yeah.
What about for my German brother, Evil brother? What's your thoughts?
What? Once again, Ali guy.
You know what I'm talking about, between Venezuela and Guyana. Would you been hearing on the news, stuff like that?
I didn't hear anything. That is new news for me.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm not into Anglosphere. I don't know of this news. I'm sorry.
Sorry, let Nakmizi is far more intelligent about this. I've watched most Nakmizi old videos, man. I'm impressed. You know, that, you know, I cannot call it young man, you know, his vast knowledge. I saw when he was confronting the Akan people in a meeting, right? You were there, Nakmizi, right?
Yeah, it was about Pan-Africanism.
Yeah, I saw you confronting the Akan people about some certain problem, you know, that how can you, kind of like a trade of 300 years, you know what I mean? So you kind of like confronted them at that time, you know. I know you were pretty young at that time. So I kind of like checked some of your old videos, you know. You were tough, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Sorry, I want to respond to Bebe Rodrigo. Yes, the Guyanese president is asking for reparations. I was discussing this now with my neighbor. He's asking the UK for reparations. But now the funny thing is, the Africans were slaves there for 200 years. When slavery was abolished, that's when the British went and brought indentured servants from India and China. These Indians and Chinese were paid. I don't care how little it was, they were paid. Before that, when the Africans were brought for 200 years, they were not paid. So as I was discussing with my neighbor about this reparations thing, he says it's just a joke. These Indians the Indian government just want to take it and put it in their pockets. So where is this reparations going to go? You think the Indian government is going to fight for those black people? Like, Ghana is actually really racist. It's really divided. So yeah.
Now, should since it's divided, this is what you're saying. Should Quincy Uganda said something? Maybe we should root for Venezuela because of the black influence. They can absorb the Indians and combine the black population. What is your thoughts on what he just now said?
Could you repeat that? I don't get it.
He said maybe we should root for Venezuela. Venezuela is basically a mixed population because of the black influence. They can absorb the Indians and combine the black populations.
I don't get what you mean by they can absorb the black population and combine the Indians.
I mean, in other words, taking over the country, and absorb it within their population.
Oh, I'm not really into this mixing thing. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into this topic, but I'm not really into this interracial mixing stuff. I'm just not for it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just think it just loses identity. It just loses DNA.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't want to mix. Shout out. Let me just give shout out to again the sponsors. Shout out to Jan Zola. I do appreciate your money. Every money makes me trick harder. So thank you very much for $10 super sticker.
Big up Jan Zola. Big up yourself, brethren.
This Jamaican is out here sponsoring the show, and I'm easy pay for like 5 months sponsorship. So shout out to you guys, and also Chitlins and Geek. Shout out to you, brother. I do appreciate you. But let me guys ask you a question, right? So with all this stuff going on in like the Suriname people and everything, you said that they turned into slave catchers. Is that correct, Natmizi?
Yep.
So it was go ahead.
It was self-preservation, but it was like they were getting busy in the jungles against the Dutch, but they end up negotiating to get the Dutch off of their back, and they said, "Look, we won't free any more of your slaves, and we'll we'll quell your slave rebellions. Just leave us alone in the jungle."
Interesting. It just reminds me a little bit of the Haiti's agreement, whereby they had to re-enslave their people just to pay back.
Yeah, I heard of that.
The amount of money that they apparently owed the French for them leaving them alone. I don't know. Do you just think black people are like cursed or something? I don't know, man.
No. Don't think of that, please. Don't think we're not cursed. We're not cursed.
Okay. Good. So what's going on?
I think black people are just dumb.
Man. Yeah, man, Kaiser. Sometimes I don't understand you. Where do you get that dog shit energy from? Like you were studying in the university, and every time I listen to your topics, it's like, man, does he try to be stupid and low IQ, or is it automatically?
Who knows? I'm black, right? You pick.
Yo, Natmizi, there's something I want to ask. Oh, shit, it's just gonna make us fight again. Anyways,
do it. Trust me, brother. Do it.
Okay, yeah. No, it's okay. And so there's something I want to ask. In the last Kaizo, what's up?
You are coward.
Yeah, I think I'll give this question also to you, Chitin, and yeah. So, in the last Kaizo show, I was discussing about how I joined this French. I'm in all in this English Africans, English Caribbeans, and Black Americans, discussion channels. So I was very happy that for once I found the French one, which is basically French, Western, Central African, and French Caribbeans. St. Lucia, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and Haitians. So I was so happy. I was like, wow, okay, let me see what these guys are discussing. I was actually hoping that there is more positive than less toxic than the English speakers.
It's a French one.
Yeah, so they have different topics and stuff. So there was one time they came live. This was now Francophone Caribbeans and French Africans. Man, even in the middle, they do like what Kaizo does. In the middle of the discussion, the admin even had to change the title. Man, I was surprised to actually learn that even the Francophone Africans and the Francophone Caribbeans have diasporan wars, man. And the craziest thing is, that's why I say black people are not dumb. There is an agenda behind this thing. The funny thing is that it is the same reasons with the Anglophone, with the English-speaking people. You know, the Caribbeans, these Martinique, Guadeloupes who were born and raised in France, their parents and their grandparents have told them, you know, these Africans are primitives, these Africans are traitors, they sold us, all these things. Africans have been told that all these Caribbeans have no culture, they're mixed, everything. The same BS, you know. And there was a time I was reading a comment. This was now years ago, about people complaining about Caribbeans and Africans diasporan war in the UK. And somebody actually commented saying that there are Africans living in the Netherlands, and they're like, yeah, the Surinamese behave the same way. The Surinamese also don't like Africans in Amsterdam. So, you know, I'm just thinking, like, so in all this land, there has to be an agenda. And the thing is, it's the same reason. There has to be an agenda. Nakmizi, say something about this. I don't know.
There's no agenda, brother. There's always gonna be people that think they're better than other people. When you combine historical horrific shit that happened in history, the side who essentially lost will harbor bad feelings to the side that supposedly won. So that's why when I tell people, like, y'all be trying to make Black Americans seem like the only and the worst xenophobes, blah blah blah. Nah, Black people worldwide generally don't fuck with each other, and it's not just Black people. Humans will always find a way to separate themselves, you know, all the way down to country, city, neighborhood, east side, west side, north side, south side, and then you go to blocks. People will separate. So I'm not surprised. When I came up on here, I told somebody asked me, I don't know who it was. They asked me I think it was Brian, about the relationship between Africans and Surinamese, and I said they called Africans boo boo. And, you know, I'm sure that the Ghanaians, because when we talk about Africans in the Netherlands, it's really just Nigerians and Ghanaians. And Ghanaians far outnumber any African group that I've seen. Maybe the Somalis are a close second or third. But because of the long 300 colonial history between the Dutch VOC and the Ashanti Kingdom. That's why. I've said this before, but Kaizo mentioned Nigerians being used as a proxy against another African group, I believe. Fucking the Ashanti King, the eighth one, he fucking sent Ashanti warriors to Indonesia to fight for the Dutch VOC. They call them Black Dutchmen. So these Ghanaians have been in bed with the European, aka the Dutch, for the longest. So when we looking at like, yo, y'all dudes just be cooning, they really be cooning. They really be cooning. So that's what I'm saying. I can't follow this. A lot of these West Africans talking this Black Power shit. Excuse me, when y'all been on the side of white power since they hit your shores.
You know what? Like Miss is saying something. Sorry, guys, I don't want to change subject, but like Miss is saying something.
Just do it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's saying something that it's really connected to what I was watching from Go Black to Africa. You know, I'm not even going to say what Go Black to Africa said, but there's something I noticed. I'm in a group on WhatsApp for Africans in Russia. Okay, mostly in St. Petersburg, where I am, and most of the Africans there are West Africans, mostly Cameroonians, Nigerians, and Congolese. So this group is very Pan-Africanist, very, very Pan-Africanist. We share African stuff, African story, Africa power, you know, everything for Africans and stuff. But the Africans I know in that group, you know, this is why I say I'm not really for this interracial thing. The Africans in that group, all of them have Russian wives. Some of them have mulatto kids. So, you know, for me, I get confused in that group, you know, like, how can you be pro-Black, pro-African, you know, but you're looking on the other side of the border, and the other side of your border is actually your enemy. So, like, you cannot, even the Bible says you cannot serve two masters, okay? You have to. It's rather you're on one side or you're the other side. It's rather you're pro-black or you're pro-Russian. So you can't serve two masters. So I look at these messages and I'm like, how can you be pro-black, but you're married to the other side of the border and you're raising your kids in an all-white school? I don't know. I'm not being. Somebody's saying I'm not being xenophobic. You know, I'm just speaking my mind. That's just all. I don't know. Snake Man, Ola, say something. Like Mizi.
What should I say? I don't live in Russia.
No, it's not just Russia. Just like, can you like? I don't understand. Like what? Like Mizi said. Like, okay, what he said is different. Talking about the Ashantis and stuff, but like, I mean, I understand why the Surinamese. I think the Surinamese, if they are Akan, they probably came from the Fantis because the Fantis were more aligned with the British and the Ashantis were aligned with the Dutch, and the Ashantis and the Fantis kept on fighting. So when the Ashantis took the Fantis war captured, how do you call them? War captures, whatever. That's the ones they gave it to the Dutch, and the Dutch sold them to the Dutch lands like Suriname and then this island called Martin. There's an island where this KLM flight keeps landing and blowing people everywhere in the Caribbean.
Saint
Martin's, yeah. So I don't know. I'm saying too many things at once. I think I should just shut up.
I mean, you're pretty much on point. It was like the Fanti were aligned with the English, and that's why in the Fanti war flag, the Asafo flag, you see like the Union Jack in their flag, like it's put in their flag. And the Ashanti were with the Dutch, but because Kumasi is north and the Fanti region is coastal, correct? Isn't Fanti coastal?
It is.
Okay. The Ashanti, when they raided for slaves, they went north and they used to grab enslaved Africans from this fucking Yawara. What is this? As a tribe, it's like a marginalized tribe in northern Ghana that they used to pick from. So they used to just go around and grab other people, and they even formed.
Domba.
No, it wasn't them. It was. I'm gonna Google it and then come back to it. But you know, the Ashanti started from 3 different tribes that formed together so they can fight off other people raiding them. You know what I'm saying? So I spoke to a lady who, what was she? She's Ashanti. And she said, you know, many Ashantis up in Kumasi aren't really Ashanti. She said they look around like we don't look like these people because they're descendants of the people that were taken from other tribes, brought to Kumasi. Some took that long road down to the coast to be sold, and some were just integrated and they just stayed there. So it's very complicated. And if you want to find who, you know, like the people in Suriname, they speak Dutch because, you know, they're descendants of the people that were enslaved by the Ashanti for the Dutch. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's why I say they were in business together. Dutch, English, Portuguese, Elmina, Portuguese, Lagos means lake in Portuguese. So like when we come with this, pro-black, and the Africans are like, whoa, buddy. Have you ever gotten an English mirror? You haven't got, they're the best mirrors ever. They love the white man's trinkets. So we're looking at the shit because we went on a boat on a horrible fucking trip and they were still chilling at home drinking schnapps. So that's what I'm saying. That's where the smoke comes from because you're looking at 2 different perspectives. And the realities are different. But I think I asked Kaiser to play a couple of months of a song from these Central Africans. They're not West Africans, they're Central Africans. It's called I Go Hard Like Vladimir Putin.
Oh man, please no, don't remind me. I met
you guys remember that, right?
Kaizo, I met that guy in the club. I met that artist in the club, and I asked him, why did he do that song? And the guy just laughed. He's like, no, it's just he was a bit drunk. Like he's from Cameroon. He's like, it's just for fun, just fun.
Was that Judah's cousin?
Sorry?
Was that Judah's cousin? Was he from Cameroon?
Jude.
Oh, Jude. Oh, I don't, I don't know. But that song is just the most embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
Like embarrassing on so many levels. They look like tethers trying to be Black Americans while they're kissing the Russian president's ass who don't give a shit about him.
And the rap is so whack. The rap is just so whack. I'm telling you. Like,
I go hard like Vladimir Putin.
Do you guys know that Black American rapper called Zuby? That guy, no, he's not Black American. Never mind. No, he's gonna come for me. But that foreign rapper called Zuby, he is cringe. I think he's like some Christian conservative rapper. Like these people, these nerds should just stop rapping, man. They can't rap and they have some cringiest lines ever.
What are you talking about?
Zuby, do you know Zuby? He's like some conservative diasporan rapper. He's some
country?
Black.
In which country?
He's from all over the place, right? But UK is one country it was in.
Oh, it's a conservative UK. Okay.
Yeah, but he's in America, right? So yeah, it's just really cringe. Probably makes rap that old white ladies can listen to.
As long as he doesn't make that Christian rap, everything's good.
Nah, it's worse than Christian rap because you got some good Christian rappers, just bad lyrics. But this guy is just cringe, and white people seem to love him.
Yo, Snake Man, where are you from?
I live in Germany, right?
No, like where you're not from Germany. Where are you from? Like, yeah.
Nigeria.
Where are you really from? Is that Hey, Snake Man, don't answer. That's microaggression. That's what white people say to minorities when they try to make minorities not feel like they're part of the country.
Okay, guys, lay down to tea and crumpets, and let Joe. I am from Nigeria.
I have a question. By the way, I'm like partly West African myself, so yeah. But I have this question that, it's very sensitive. I've always wanted to ask. The majority of Africans in St. Petersburg are West Africans. I always wanted to ask them, but I just don't want my ass to be kicked, so I just keep quiet. But let me just ask through online. At least online, I'm safer. Okay, like. In Africa, we have, in fact, Black people all around the world. This is a fact. We have self-hate. We have a lot of self-hate. We have a low self-esteem, and we don't love ourselves. But I see it like it's so much stronger in West Africa. Because I've been to East, Southern, and West Africa, and I've not been to Cameroon. Cameroon, I've been only in the airport. But yeah, I've been to East, Southern, and West Africa, and I've seen that like. All Black people, we have self-hate, but it's really, really strong in West Africa. And then if you look even at this immigration crisis that's going on right now, majority of people, even where I am in the country I'm in, majority of people who come here to study, East, Southern Africans, once they finish study, they go back. They go back to Africa and they find jobs. Some get jobs immediately, some they hustle, they get after a year or something. But West Africans never like to go back. They are the ones who find these white ladies here, marry them, or if they don't go back, they find a way to go to Europe. You see, so
and you
see, let me finish. No, let me finish. And the thing is that if you look at history, the most powerful, strongest kingdoms and strong history came from West Africa. But today is like things are just opposite. I don't get it.
So what are you saying? Are you talking about the continent of Europe or talking a specific country?
No, I'm talking about Africa. Africans.
Hey, let me interject real quick because I found it. They're called the Fra people. It's a subset of the Gurunsi or the Gurusi people. They call themselves the Ya Fara. A lot of them were captured and brought to Kumasi. So it wasn't really Fantis, unless, from the wars they would do that. But when they did their raids, they would raid people that were around them but weaker.
Yeah, and to answer your question, we had once a discussion, and it was a similar discussion. And the problem is, I'm not that kind of African. You're asking the wrong group. I'm not the African who asks the discussion, how can I stay Black in a country that has anti-Black culture in its veins? Like when we had the British discussion, when I asked him some question, why there is no pandering of the black politicians that are in England. And everyone of the English said, no, we can't, our black people in the power position cannot pander to black people on the street. We cannot do that. And I always ask them why, and they never really could answer the question. Like, you must ask those people. I don't have those kind of energy. I'm just here to make my bag, to get money pushed from Germany into Nigeria. That's everything. I don't know. You must ask those people who have those retarded logic. How can I survive 500 years in those white country and still stay black, but at the same time don't be black? Like, for me, that's brain rot.
Yeah, I like that answer. I've also heard of that answer before, but that was from a Kenyan who is in Austria. She told me she's remaining there not because she wants to, but she's there to get education and knowledge from these white people, and she takes them and brings them back to Kenya. And she went back to Kenya just in September. So, yeah, but
no, because I know what energy you're talking about. Like in my group, when you show up with that kind of energy, nah, we just kick you out. Like because I don't know why. I don't know. And Magnesium Mike can answer it. You cannot fix people who are broken. Like it's a waste of energy.
Okay.
You're 100% right. You cannot fix broken people. That's why when I speak to people, I'm looking for the ones who are nodding their heads, who are interested, or even the ones who are making face like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's talking some bullshit, because at least they're engaged. A lot of people just check out, and those people I'm not going to waste my time on.
The Spellcaster stops the cab. He in the chat is writing that you can't fix broken. No, you can't. No, you can't. Maybe on an individual level if you catch them young, but an entire group of grown people, nah.
Yo, Zulia, just to answer, but that girl, the Kenyan girl, she's very pro-black. She's married to a Nigerian footballer in Austria. So yeah, she's not married to a Zaddy. She's married to a Nigerian footballer playing for Austria, and she's very pro-black. She said, "White man, nah."
Nah, stop it, Spellcaster. When they are grown, you must understand, especially now in our information age, you being broken was a choice. In some point between your, let us say, teens and young adult days, you decided, you know something, I don't have the energy to fight against this culture. I just crumble and give up. Because everyone who in some point grew up in a white country had to go through that thing. It's not like it's impossible. It's not that hard to not be broken. But if you don't have the energy or the mind for it.
Yeah, that's true, man. The East to West home is best.
Yo, J.O., what kind of African are you?
Nigga, I'm a nigga African, man. Got a problem with that?
What the fuck? I guess I'm supposed to relate to the nigga talk.
Hold on, Joe. Are you Nicoropian? Are you one of those full-blooded Nicoropians?
I'm sub-Saharan African, man. I'm black. You want me to switch on my camera?
No, I know you're black. I can hear the jolt off in your throat. Pause. But come on, is your country that poor that you don't want to tell us?
No, he might be one of those Nicoropians whose ancestors go back to the 1600s.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm actually from Alabama, man.
Now get the fuck out of here. You said Alabama.
Yeah.
My mom lives in Alabama now.
You're close to Obama.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she lives in Alabama. I went to Alabama a couple of times, Huntsville, Alabama. That was about it. I don't want to ever go back.
Yo, no wonder I saw you on that Alabama, bro, man. Nigga, you were hyped, man.
You wildin', son.
I'm
a city sticker from Brooklyn.
Yo, are you the one who smashed that chair in that Miss Patty, the one with the red dress? You smashed that chair on her head?
What did McNeesy do in Alabama?
He's trying to roast, but his Bantu genes are really stopping the success of his roast. just pull your spear out and dance around and stomp your feet like a good monkey.
Oh, fuck you, man. No, I'm actually just to answer. I don't know if I'm answering like Mizio Snake, man. I'm Kenyan, but I'm also partly Cote d'Ivoire. So you see now, like you have something to roast me about.
Nah, Kenyans. I don't. You know what's crazy? When I hear East Africa, I just calm down. I put down the Mac 10 and the Crip rag, and I just relax. Because y'all didn't sell us. You see what I'm saying? And I have 12% Kenyan DNA. But when it comes to them West Africans, my guard goes up. Once I get to know you, then I'll start relaxing. But when them niggas come around, I start feeling like they wanna fucking scam me or sell me back into slavery.
Nah, McNeesy, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that. Please sign these papers.
Not the curb, Snake Man.
Hey, McNeesy just admitted that Kenyans are so docile that you can be relaxed around.
No, I didn't say they're docile. The Mau Mau were far from docile.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. There's no history. Yo, Kaizo, I tagged you in a video from a former Brandon ally, now turned, I guess, they've had a disagreement, let's just say. She went to Sierra Leone with Dynasty Mir, and she made a video that I tagged you in, where she was like, "Yo, I start to feel like they're just trying to use us for our money." Yo, the money grab was crazy, son. They had to tell them to get off the bus, like they did their, African traditional dance, but their hands were out, like, "Give me money, give me money, give me money." I'm like, "Fuck, bro."
Oh, shit.
No, but you see, the problem with that Nakmizi I have is, why is she now? I saw that video also. Why is she complaining after 7 months?
You know how women are.
Like, she took her 7 months to come.
Have you ever heard of Me Too?
That's why I say, you know how women are. So always, you must understand.
Let's leave the women out. Let's leave the women. You two.
Okay, I just want to say they must drain their delusional energy, and after that energy is gone, since they're, I'm in reality now, I can react.
Wait, how do you check when you're tagged on a video? Like, is there somewhere you press?
Yeah, it's on the title. But I don't let Nakmizi tell you.
It's a blue thing.
Yeah, it's blue.
Okay. Are you colorblind, Kaiser?
The issue is, how do I get to the tagged videos page? Remember, I'm African. I don't know how to use technology.
Fuck you, man. So, Nakmizi, the thing is, I think that's...
What did you study again, Kaiser? What did you study again?
So, Nakmizi, I think that lady was being personal, because first of all, it took her 7 months to complain about it. Second of all, I think she comes from New York. How many pickpockets are there in New York? How many people are begging for money in New York in the street? So come on, that lady just has her own personal issues, man. No, I think she has a personal issue with Dynast or something like that. I'm not sure.
Well, one thing I never understood, and that is something, it might be my personal experience. I would understand if you got scammed in a 4-dimensional chess move where you had a plan with 150 steps. But come on, most of the time when I listen to those people, it's like some guys came to me, they begged me for my wallet. I gave them my wallet, and then they ran away. But I always think to myself, why are you so eager to giving strangers your money? But if you go back to your home, and someone you know, like I don't know, an old friend from school will ask you, "Hey, can I have $20?" Nope. That wallet is now sealed forever. And that is something I never understood. how people can be scammed in this way. I don't get it. What is it? What is it?
Because it's an emotional. They're in an emotional state, right? It's an emotional state. They're coming home. They're feeling it. They're looking at this culture. These booty shaking dances. The dust is flowing. The kids are screaming. You know, the Ebola's in the air. They're just like, oh wow, I'm home, and then they get hit with the okay, give me money. You don't in the moment want to say no, so you dash them because you've been told that dashing is part of the West African culture, right? So you dash them, but these people were wanting to dash so bad that they made it look, it was cringy. I got secondhand embarrassment for the Africans there that were begging for the money, and that's how I felt watching videos about the slave castles in Ghana. And I said, I'm not going there. They got people hardcore trying to get money out of you, and I'm not going to that place. It's like they don't respect that these people are there on an emotional journey. Whether I agree with it or not, I still respect their journey. And you know, they just didn't give a fuck. They just wanted the money. And that right there really highlights the difference in mentalities, the mentality of a person with necessity who's looking at someone who obviously has more means, and they're trying to meet in the same place. It's not going to work. It's always going to be somebody's trying to get something from the other. It's not an organic exchange.
No, because you must understand.
You know, like Mizi is saying the truth. I remember I was watching, this was like a few years ago. I was watching this, I don't know which castle it was, whether it's Cape Coast or Elmina. I was watching a video of some Black Americans doing the tour. And then immediately, you know, I felt emotional myself. My ancestors were not there. I felt emotional.
It happens this year. I think it happens this year.
But wait, like immediately these Black Americans in the tour came out of the door of no return. You know, that's when you get the feeling, the emotions, you get touched. So these tour and these Black Americans are walking off that door. The light is there, you know. You see now all these mamas, all these ladies selling peanuts just over there. You know, like you're just like, what the hell? You know, it just turns you off, man. It just spoils everything. With all those emotions, you're coming out of the door, no return. People are just selling peanuts over there and all these biscuits and all this stuff.
Wait, selling peanuts?
You're a weak man.
Man, I can't, just go look at those videos, man.
I must not look. I'm down there many times. You know, man, the first time as a child I was down there again to visit.
Ah, you were there.
Yeah, multiple times I go down because I have my business. I went down there to have some fucking, I don't know, marriage / business meeting / the old patriarchs that want to flex on the younglings. You know, when I went down there, the first thing that happened when we returned to our ancestral village was the villagers start dancing. For some shit, because we came in to start dancing. You know what we did? We say, hey, you did good, now fuck off. So, because we didn't ask for that shit. I thought to myself, man, do you really think we're white people? Do you think we're so retarded that to start dancing, we give you money? Go away.
Oh, right. They just want money when they dance for you. Interesting.
But it still was cringe. I like, god damn.
We have in Kenya, we have a very big fort called Fort Jesus. It was also built by the Portuguese in I think 1400 or 1500. I'm not sure. That one, at least, it's more. It was a fort to, I think, protect the enemies from taking over Mombasa or some crap like that. I don't know. It's really big. That one, at least, is more conservative. It's more protective.
That's what she said.
Yeah, but the one in where the hell is Nakmizi? I thought Nakmizi left. But the one here,
Nakmizi is like a ghost.
Ah, okay. But the one in Ghana, like, it's just so. I think these Ghanaians, I think they're just using these. No offense, Nakmizi, they're just using these Black Americans for business.
Oh, absolutely, and I know it. That's why I didn't go during the year of return. What did you say, Kaizo?
And Nakmizi, I said,
right, someone called you a ghost. So
yeah, and then you said because I'm white.
Kaiser out here with just a sneak dissing.
And I'm too swift. I'm old, but I'm swift. Kaiser, I'll put it in the back chat. Pause. The video that I tagged you in. And just the
Yeah,
first.
just downloading it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I mean,
You like
can play it
loads?
casual. You can play it because it's not like it's a video will down your quality.
Yeah, but I have an issue with these sort of videos from people like Dynast and this one. Why are they showing some dusty African video traditions in some random village with like some fake ass Kenge, whatever?
But they're proud.
That's a guy. That's a guy who every time
they're proud.
Nilotic people come in shows the video about them bathing in cow.
I know, man. These clothes don't look
No,
good,
they don't go to that extent. But he shows our tradition. Why you want him to go to Nairobi town and to KFC in Nairobi? That's what.
Yes.
Like, okay, I have a question. Yeah.
Look, the issue is it
Yes.
doesn't look good. These colors just look bad. It looks like some rainbow colored multi. There's no fashion here. How did these people make the FBA? I still don't get it.
What? They're not black.
What the?
West Africans ain't got no style, man. Like I've seen those clothes, man. It's like, especially Ghanaians, right? Nigerians, fine, they look good, but Ghanaians just like 200 colors, yellow, green, looks like a chameleon.
No,
just don't look.
It's just wanted to say. It's just wanted to say. Are you saying that Ike doesn't have style?
No, Nigerians look good. See,
Ike is not Nigerian. Nigerians have style.
No, Kente looks nice, man. Come on, Kente looks nice.
Well, why do you think he's not Nigerian? Because he's albino?
Sorry,
where's that African supremacist one man to Mao or Mo, whatever it is, one man to Mo?
Are you talking about Darth?
Whoever he is? No, not Darth. He thinks that Black Americans can't lead because we're not the originals. I'm like, oh man. I didn't get a chance to really cook his ass.
You mean the guy who was on here earlier?
I don't know if he was on there earlier, but he sounds like one of the Queen's loyal subjects. He's like, and you know, I am a Nigerian that loves to wipe the sweat from under the Queen's titties.
Oh man, let her rest in peace, man. Yo, Ben Smith.
She's dead. That's right.
Ben Smith, I want to respond to you. Majority of the blacks here are Cameroonians, Congolese, and Nigerians. But the reason why I say West Africans, you find a pocket of someone from Benin, pocket of Ghanaians, pocket of Senegalese. Actually, I like Senegalese. Pocket of Malians, like that. You know, but all these small pockets of East and Southern, they go back. When the summer comes, they go back. But you just remain, man. Like Russia. Oh my gosh. You know, Kaizo, I watched a video on the Russian Facebook. It's called Contact, and they showed a video of a Nigerian guy who is in Ukraine fighting. I was just like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. And the Russian army was so proud, like introducing him, saying like, you see, an African is fighting with us and everything. And then the Nigerian guy now was saying, no, the Russian guy now was asking the Nigerian guy, where you from? The guy said Nigeria. And then as the Russian guy was introducing, like, we have an African here now fighting for us and everything, the Nigerian guy interrupts, says, I was Nigerian, but now I'm Russian. I promise. I'm saying the embarrassment, Kaizo, like if you're in Russia here, you would just walk around with shades.
Now I want to go to Russia to see the insanity.
No, but your fellow Africans have so much self-hate. They have so much self-hate. Like, it's embarrassing. It's really sad.
I don't really care. Like, I'm just, because I always hear from Kaiser about England and some French people. Now here Russia. It's like, man, living here in Germany is really boring as a black guy. Like say insanity and dust in the rest of Europe is. God damn, I wish.
Come, you will like it. By the way, I have a friend. He's American. He relocated to Russia like a month ago.
Now, guys. Jojo, look at those clothes and tell me they look nice, man. That looks like something from a clown outfit.
Yeah, which one? The white one. The white one.
Man, guys, you're just mad that Vanga Kingdom ran around naked in non clothes. What you talking about?
Okay.
But that's their culture, guys. What do you want them to do? To dress in hoodies and baggy jeans and sag?
No, African clothes.
Whoa. This nigga. What the fuck?
Yo, let me calm down. Let me calm down. It's all right.
I mean, look, there's no way this will ever become a world international like style. No way. Like, wear something that you can market. You see, I keep saying this about Africans, right? Africans don't know how to market themselves or their culture. No one's gonna want to run around looking like a clown. At least change it a little bit. Make it. The Nigerian ones look good, but these ones, nah.
Yo, Kaizo, people are different, man. What's up with you, man?
Let them be, Kaizo. I don't know why you hate. Like your clothes is not better. Your clothes is just Arab clothes. If you really
niggas is gonna start complaining. You niggas gonna start complaining how the white man controls everything. And when I tell you why he controls everything, you come for me. You see what I mean? That's the problem with Africans. I'm telling you why.
Good try to reflect, Kaizo. Doesn't change
because he knows how to market.
Yeah, man. Let the white man be the white man.
What's this guy saying?
This shit here, this can actually sell.
Nakmizi, I think this is for you. I will come for you, Black American man. We Yorubas are superior.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't know if he means he will cam for me, or do I have to insert a Nigerian accent meaning he will come for me? It's crazy. He's been under the Queen's tits since Flora Shaw named his piece of shit country, his shithole country. He's been there.
Hold on. You're talking about one man. What? One man doesn't have a British accent.
Yes, he does. He has a huge, crazy British accent.
Man, one man talks like a Nigerian who tries to do a British accent.
Well, and he's proud of it. I'd love for him to come up and tell us how Yorubas are. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to respect Yoruba Nation. I'm just going to call them a wholesale Nigerian. Wherever y'all go in Africa, people's running y'all asses out. Wherever we go in Africa, they're welcoming us in. I have fried chicken residue in my throat.
Yo, let me see. I had a question for you. So in Amsterdam, do Surinamese intermarry with Africans?
Yes. Like my barber, his wife is my ex-barber. His wife is Surinamese, and he took her to Ghana and he left her there while he cuts hair in Holland. And he had me get on a plane with a fucking huge, 1 kilo or 2 kilo fucking big thing of cheese. So I'm walking around my first couple of days in Ghana with, trying to make room in the refrigerator for this cheese so it didn't melt. And then he sent some guy who's from New York, but he's also a Hausa, that was deported for drug dealing. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Oh, hold on. A New York Hausa was caught for magnesium. Where you have the exotic Africans.
I'm dead ass. Like they have Hausa in Ghana, and there's a neighborhood called Nima, which is like the hood. And homie was from Nima. He pulled up in a Range Rover, but we talking, and it was like I was just talking to somebody from the hood in New York. So it was actually cool. But he got locked up and then deported. So we're not the only Pookies and Ray Rays. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they do marry. But I think Surinamese marry white people more than they marry Africans, to keep it 100.
But who are more in the Netherlands? Are they the Indian Surinamese or the black Surinamese? I know they have a lot of Indians.
Ooh, shit, that's a good question.
Why are you people so focused on Indians? I don't get it.
Because there's a lot of Indians in Suriname, and like Jo said when he was speaking about Guyana, I had a Guyanese parking attendant when I used to ride motorcycles, and I asked him, I said, what about the Indians in Guyana? And he was old school, so he's probably like 70 now. He said, the best coolie is a dead coolie. And I said, whoa. Yeah, basically it's his play on the only good nigger is a dead nigger. That's what they were saying about the coolies, which is a derogatory term for them. But they, even here, tend to be more racist against black people than white people. Here they call them donker wit, which means dark white. They love to be, in the bosom of white people here. And and they get on the side of, you know, kind of like talking shit about black people. So I think Suriname and Guyana is really just a horrible social experiment that just never ends, because whoever becomes prime minister, if they're black, they do for the blacks. If they're Indian, they do for the Indian. And the Javanese people, the Chinese, they don't really have political power. They just have business power. So they get behind whoever's gonna take care of their interest.
It's mostly with the Indians.
Yep.
Man, I'm so glad. I'm so now when it comes to Europe, I'm so glad that I'm in Germany, because I never had beef with Indians like that. Like when I think back, I have many Indian friends, but I don't really care that they're Indian.
Sasa wewe Zulia, si tuma pesa bana. Sasa nini mbaya? Umechoka ya nini? Bado siko na jamhuri.
Watu wapende kusaidia watu wao, unaona?
Bana, si tuma pesa. Actually, another one cousin just in Kenya just WhatsApp me. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, Nakmizi, that's the same thing about Guyana also. I think Suriname is just the same thing with Guyana. Like, they hate, like my Guyanese neighbor, I mean, thank God he's Afro-Guyanese. He hates, he can't stand Indians. And I understand them because, Kaizo, let's not lie. In Kenya, we also go through the same thing, man, with these Indians. It's just that in Kenya, the Indians, they don't join politics. But
hold on. You must put respect on the Kenyan Indians. They're natural.
They're a tribe.
There's a tribe. Put some respect on our African brothers.
Coon ass Kenyans. Coonians. Y'all are Coonians. Gave fucking Indians a tribe. Where's my tribe? Where's my tribe in Kenya? I'm 12% Kenyan.
Hold on. Kyle, that's a question. I remember the question I wanted to ask you 2 months ago.
There is American tribe.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, if a lot of, let us say, Kenya becomes the Switzerland of Africa, and a lot of Black Americans come here and build and have
listen, yo, let me cut you short. No, Snake Man, you're telling me to that we should respect Kenyan Indians. First of all, my ancestors have been in Kenya for centuries. Kenyan Indians only came in the 18th, 17th century. Now, let me tell you one thing. You know, these Indians, they're the middle high class. First of all, in Kenya, there are 10 billionaires. Like around 8 of them are Indians. No, 7 of them are Indians. And in India, there is, in Kenya, there is a middle class area called.
No, you can call Kenya. You can call.
Listen.
No
there is a middle class, high class area called Parklands in Nairobi, in Kenya. Me, as a Kenyan, my ancestors were in Kenya for centuries before the 17th century, and the Indian just came in the 17th century. So me, I am more Aboriginal, native to that land. Do you know that me, even if I'm so rich, I cannot go and rent any house in that place? An Indian will come and tell me, sorry, it's only for Indians.
Yeah, that's why I say Kenya is India. But like I said, Kenzo,
what the fuck are you saying? Kenya is what?
Kenya is like India, but
it's easier for us to work with Indian experience because we can relate to it. Yes, it is much more comparable. It's much more easy to learn from what India has done. And we are sharing experience. There are a few things India will learn from Kenya as we make this journey.
I'm sure. One of the key announcements yesterday was
right.
fighting.
We build a coalition of countries so that we share experience, we share intelligence, we share information, we collaborate efforts.
So Kaizo, when India goes to war with Pakistan, is Kenya on the Indian side?
You mentioned the global financial architecture.
Of course, Kenya's going to choose India's side because they're our friend.
That lady just laughing at that Kenyan man by saying all this nonsense. Will India ever give you a room to? Will India ever give you a pot to piss on? You see, sometimes when Africans sort of put their mouth, I see them as a buffoons. You want to get Kenya and everything. India does not belong to Kenya. India should find their way back to their own country. You know, all this nonsense. You know,
what the fuck?
That lady.
Ola, please, Ola, work on your accent reduction, brother. You're triggering me. He's been in America. He's been all over the world, and he sounds like he literally just crawled out of some fucking Yoruba forest.
Oh, come on. Stop. Guys, what was this interview?
Hold on, Nakmizi, sort of, if I'm fast, because I'm a stammerer, sort of, my accent sort of become a little bit, okay, I'm an African, I can't really do nothing about it. What I mean, Nakmizi, is that lady is just laughing, it kind of like, it's laughing at this guy,
Yeah, exactly.
A black man opened his mouth and said, oh, we're all one. One for what? That India might in your country, that, oh, we are one. India might is a tribe in Kenya. Why Kenya can never be a tribe in India? It's it's kind of like funny. How Africans can somehow play this kind of dirty game.
Yo, Ola, I think what I did is you saw the nonsense, you heard the nonsense that was going on, and you responded quickly. That's where the accent came out. I guess you got triggered, but it gave me it did something to me. It scared me a little bit, but it's all good, brother. I respect your passion for it, and I agree with you. When he said, Indians can learn from Kenya, she was like, yeah, she literally just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, do you think
by a centralized system, AfriExim is providing a facility that we can do trade between Kenya in shillings and in rupees. So this is what the conversation we are having.
You recently also said that the world is now looking at Africa as an opportunity and not as a source of problems. And we see the growing interest. There are.
Wait, is there a source of problems? Wait, is that what you niggas think of Africa as a source of problems?
What do you mean, we niggas? What do you mean, we niggas? What is that? What are you talking about? We niggas? Do you see? Now kind of thinks that Indians are we niggas.
Oh wow, this is crazy. Like, she just cooked him. Do you guys just hear that? I think that means he's the only one who heard that shit.
I pick up on all that passive aggressive little shots and all of that shit.
But why
when you watch these interviews, if you look at it, you can just see the condescending manner that she's speaking to. I guess this guy's a president or something.
What is he? Is he a high potentate? Is he a high potentate of Indian ass kissing?
Yo, Kaizo, when was this interview done?
This is like a few days ago, man.
A few days ago?
Yeah, look at his cut. He's fresh.
Man, no, this nigga now is so hated. Yesterday, Kenya celebrated 60 years of its Jubilee independence. 60 years. Nigga, no African president, head of state came. Only one from Ethiopia came, man. Can you imagine?
was it actually the
you can't say the hard R. You let a hard R slip.
Yeah, I can't say that. I'm trying to.
No, but Kaiser, is that the reason why you told us about this weird Indian dominance that is globally? Is that the reason because Kenya is so cucked by the Indians that you think it's globally?
Who knows, man? But it's not Kenya. It's Kikuyu land. Kenya is fine.
Okay.
No, Zulia, you're right. Indians don't mix with blacks in Kenya. They don't like mixing with blacks. They go to their own clubs. They go to their own schools. They go to their own temples. They live in their own rich, high-class suburbs, and they will not allow you to go and rent a house over there. They will tell you.
Have no fear, Joe. Have no fear. No,
don't tell me. That's my land. That's my land, my country.
No, have no fear. When the Somalis take over, so we kick out the Indians.
You don't bring racism to me in your land in India, but not in my land in Kenya.
What do you mean? It's their land too. It's their tribe.
Too late.
It's not too late. Get out of my country. You're not original from here. Get out. The same way Black South Africans are also working on kicking out white South Africans, man. They're also like a tribe there, the Afrikaans. So we can also kick them out. Who cares?
It won't happen. They'll give us sanctions and all those things. So
no, but
we will work it out. We will work it out.
No, Kaiser, it's a serious question. Do you think now only no trolling? Do you think if Black Americans start migrating into Kenya, say at some point we become a tribe? Do you think the Kenyan government will do that?
No, look. To be honest, let's be realistic here. We're being a bit disingenuous. The Black Indians in India are a tribe, and they were actually from Kenya. And Tanzania. So we're being a little bit disingenuous.
What's their name? What's their name, Kaizo?
Cities.
Yes.
Do you know how they're being treated, Kaizo? Are they being treated with love, acceptance,
No,
jobs?
of course not. They live in jungles.
Wait, what are they? What is their profession?
I say cities even into
what is their Kaizo? What is their profession in India?
Oh no. The ones with the bad profession are the Dalits. Those ones are not African. Those are just black Indians. These ones are actually.
Oh, which
African.
ones clean the shit then?
Oh, those are the Dalits. Those are the really. No. Those are the Africans. The Africans who live in the jungle.
Oh, okay. All right.
Who shit do they clean?
They just go house to house cleaning people's shit. But Joe, did you know that Nigeria, and Kaizo can verify this, Nigeria has overtaken India as the #1 open defecation destination in the world? They have more open defecation than any other place in the world.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I want to know in which part of Nigeria it is. I want to know in which part of Nigeria is it.
Igbo land. Igbo land.
It's really Igbo land?
Yeah, it's all over.
Yeah, it's Igbo land. Northerners are Muslims. They are clean. It's a southern.
Very clean. It's those Igbos.
Yeah.
It was in shit. What's the name? Is Wari is in Igbo land or no?
No, I don't know.
I don't really know.
Yeah,
well, it was on Martin Luther King Boulevard in Igbo land. And they had a special right by the liquor store. All them Nigerians shitting in the streets.
I mean, hands up to Nigeria, man. Well done, Nigeria.
Man, into next Nigeria summit, man, to roasting will be hard.
Y'all love it. Oh, y'all watch Charleston White roast Nigerians, right?
Oh yeah.
Man, Charleston White is like, for me, it's like an old Nigerian. He just talks a lot of shit, but come on, man.
Nakmizi, yeah. I forgot to ask you. Why did you? So your barber left his Surinamese wife. Sorry to change the subject. Surinamese wife in Ghana. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And is she happy?
No, obviously she's not happy to be dropped off in Suriname to get some Ghana. Deep reintroduction to African fucking culture forced on her by her husband, who's still living in Holland. You know, but nah, she don't like it. But
why do so many people who hate Magnesi know so much about his life?
Who knows about my life? Who's talking about my life?
Like Joe. Like Joe.
No, Joe was responding to something that I said on this stream. Also, I think Marie Shai, said Wari is south, not south east. Marie Shai, where you from? Where you from, Marie Shai?
She's trying to say Yoruba is that's terrible. Man, where are you? Your people shitting on the streets.
Yeah, who I wanted to say south the Yoruba land, like.
Yeah, that's embarrassing, man. But obviously,
that's one man to Mo. It's his. Tell him to bring his ass up if he can top up his fucking glow.
He said 1 minute. It's been a minute.
He's got to top up his glow prepay internet.
Apropos one man, are you paying a Nigerian? Are you paying him?
Am I paying him? I pay everyone. It's business.
And not
don't pay the Nigerian.
No.
For me.
No. If you don't do it, I must ask the top Nigerian aka Ike to punish you. Must pay the taxes to Nigeria.
I always pay taxes.
Then you're a sucker. What are you doing while you're paying taxes, my bro?
You have to, man, because you must be a kind guy. I always pay my taxes, Masha, FD, whatever it is, KRA in Kenya, and then the other ones, America and all those places. You must pay your taxes, right, Easy?
Yeah, I'll pay my taxes.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean, yes,
I do, but I got tricks though. Like it's almost the end of the year, so I'm allowed to buy 2 laptops a year for my business. So I'm gonna buy 2 and return them after I claim them. There's so many fucking tricks I just learned from the white people. Actually, the Turks teach you how to fucking do all these tax write-offs and shit.
Man, nothing personally, but the Turkish people I love the Turkish people. From all the Middle Eastern people, I love the Turkish people.
Yeah, they own their business shit, so I get all the tricks and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, one man. Please, do not challenge him.
Talent who to what? I heard noise making from the cheap seats, so I came to see what the noise was all about.
From the cheap seats.
Yeah,
what kind of brother? What kind of accent is that?
It's an Oyo laughing accent.
It sounds a little English, brother.
It doesn't sound anything like English. It's a Yoruba or you are laughing accent. So what's going on here?
Let me ask you a question. You said your accent is Oyo, right?
Yes, or you are laughing.
Okay, now he's trying to sound more African. Okay. Stop it. Ola is a real Nigerian. This guy is he's one of the Queen's subjects.
What's going on? I heard that there was a bit of rebel rousing going on here. And
yes, that's what I want to ask you. That's what I want to ask you.
And I was told to come and administer some correctional, punishment. So who's here for the whipping? Who am
I am here for the lashes.
No, before you do the lashes, before you do the whipping,
I know who it is now. I know who it is now.
Peyo. Must we go to the Nigerian tribunal? That's Kaiser Peyo. One man.
Sorry, repeat that.
That's Kaiser's. There's a dirty, gay Wanga guy.
United Nations General Assembly officially designated every November 19 as World Toilet. Officially designated every November 19 as World Toilet Day. World Toilet Day celebrates toilets and raises awareness of the 4.2 billion people living without access to safely managed sanitation. The initiative is conceptualized in line with the World Toilet Day 2023 with the theme Accelerating Change for Safe Sanitation. News Central's Ayo Olubusi has more on this special report.
Is his name Busi? Busi?
2019. Nigeria overtook India to become the #1 open defecation nation globally.
Oh, is that where you're going with this?
More than 46 million Nigerians defecate in the open, according to the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, a situation public health experts described as very.
That's not where I come from. That's something else.
Also show that about 102,000 children under the age of 5.
This is oil. They say this is oil.
That's oil land. Oil state.
That looks like the north. But
let's listen to it, brother. Let's listen to Superior African. I want to hear this.
Hold on. Over 50% of the open defecation in Nigeria is done by the Yoruba. Did I hear that right?
I'm not quite sure where Kaizo is getting that from. It looks like a cobbled together gas.
How can you be superior and you cannot even clean your bum? You cannot clean your bum.
They didn't say they were not cleaning their bums. They said they were using open space as a toilet, which is what tradition will have,
So you're saying shitting in the bush is better than shitting in the street?
Yeah, well, if you have to go, you have to go.
Well, I have one question. Do all the people in Oyo State take such big dumps? If you look at the picture, that dump is very big. Is it the jollof rice?
Are you trying to mimic my accent? What's wrong with this American guy?
No, whoa. My people come from Nigeria, so I'm actually embracing my culture.
Yeah. No. What actually tickled me was how that woman was saying World Toilet Day with a straight face, as though she was actually saying World Toilet Day, and she couldn't even. I mean, she just straight laced down the camera. World Toilet Day. I mean, goodness me, you know.
No, but
brother, did you grow up with a toilet? Did you grow up with a toilet? Let's be very honest here. As a child, were you one of these street shitters?
What's a toilet? Is it some diet? Is it an American diet? What's a toilet?
No, I'm asking you, brother. Did you shit in the bushes like these young children?
No, but
what if I did?
No. Then we can celebrate the progress that you've made now.
Does that diminish me in any way if I did?
Absolutely not, brother. But then I would ask you, since Africa's the cradle of civilization and Nigeria is the giant of Africa, why are you guys still shitting in the streets and then claiming that you're superior to Black Americans?
Well, not in the streets, in the bushes. And if you find that,
okay, because you don't have paved roads, I get it.
No.
You're shitting in public.
No. We have a large, vast greenery and forest areas. You know, we've decided not to pave. We've decided not to live in concrete jungles like you do. You know.
Wait. Let me ask you a question. Concrete jungles. What do they do? Do they shoot people? In the concrete is like the concrete jungles crime ridden?
No. You live in a concrete jungle. You is that not where you live? Everything paved.
Well, no. I actually don't. I'm a multiple homeowner, but now let me ask you a question. Let's talk about the concrete jungle, brother. What are some of the issues in the concrete jungle? Would it be violence?
Do you know what a concrete jungle is?
Gun violence? Is that what we deal with in a concrete jungle, brother?
Well, you tell me.
I believe that's definitely a symptom of the concrete jungle. But to make a parallel, those Fulani are running out of your Yoruba jungles and busting guns on y'all. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Bullshit. The Fulani is running out of in Yoruba land, running out of the jungles with AK-47s, kidnapping y'all, busting guns. You know what I'm saying? Letting their cattle eat all your shit.
There are isolated incidents of criminality. In
banditry. Call it what it is. Banditry.
It's criminality, isn't it? So you don't have crime in your concrete jungle.
Yes, we do have crime. That's the difference. I will admit to my crime, but I will say that you're the superior. So I'm looking for the superiority. I want you to really show your superiority.
It's embedded in what you said. It's more pervasive in your community. Criminality, lack of regard for human lives, just robbery, debauchery, drug addiction, prostitution.
Let's talk about that, brother. What is the name of that vigilante group? In the north by the Hausa is Shege Kefasa. In Igbo land, it's the IPOB. In Yoruba land, it's
a Bebeagu. It's not IPOB.
There's some shit. IPOB. Amotekun. They have like tiger-colored patrol vehicles, right? Why does Amotekun exist?
I thought that was a movie.
No, Amotekun is a real.
They are forest rangers essentially.
They're not forest rangers. They're Fulani hunters.
Okay, all right. Maybe you've embedded that into their constitution, but they are forest.
All right, brother. So the Amotekun only run in the forest. They don't patrol the streets.
Predominant. Well, they're not policemen, you know.
That's why I called them a vigilante group, brother. You have a Black American here who knows all your dirty secrets.
An act of the Constitution. They're not a vigilante group. They're a properly registered, constitutionally backed security organization.
They're what security? There was what security organization?
A security organization, yeah.
Right, but they're not the police, correct?
They are not the police, no.
But they do patrol, which would typically fall under a vigilante group. Just because they're sanctioned, you know, they're still essentially doing vigilante work.
They are not. No, they are doing security work. They are doing a specialized security work.
Now, what kind of security work do they do, brother? What's their biggest threat?
Forest rangers. That's what they
are.
So
are they going after poachers?
Well, they are keeping the forestry secure.
Okay, are they protecting armadillos, or are they protecting your people from the Fulani?
They are keeping the forestry secure.
From
the forestry. What is the threat? What is the threat coming out of the forest, my brother?
Whatever endangers the forestry and livelihood.
Why are you doing this Nigerian Yoruba dance around my question?
No. It's called Nigerian Bible. You just that's Nigerian.
Yeah, this is Biafran babble from somebody from Yoruba land. You see, you didn't think that I knew all the dirty little secrets about Yoruba land, right?
No, I know.
But I do. So when you go there, you try to talk about the concrete jungle, brother. You have a whole organization designed to keep your people because you're getting banged on by the Fulani.
No.
And let's talk about the other stuff that happens over there. All the graping, all the murders, all the femicide. Let's talk about the money rituals. Let's talk about that too. Let's talk about Oh, you don't know what money rituals are in Nigeria?
What does that mean?
That means that you guys are known. You guys are known, and this isn't everyone, but this is just a name that some unscrupulous Nigerians have stained the rest of the upstanding Nigerian population with. Okay, so worldwide, Nigerians are known for scamming. I was just in Asia, and it was all Nigerians that were trying to sell cocaine on Sukhumvit Road when I was going to the Jamaican restaurant.
Sorry, Maknizi.
Yes.
Are there any crimes taking place in the concrete jungle where you come from?
Yes, absolutely.
What sort of crimes take place there?
We have gang violence. Brother, let me tell you the crimes, brother. We have gang violence, we have gun violence, we don't have much knife crime, we have theft, we have drug dealing, we have human trafficking. What else? We have burglary. Those are the things that we have in the concrete jungle that I happen to be raised in at times of my life. You see how that works when somebody tells the truth. Now tell me the truth about what happens in Yoruba land, and tell me about the forest rangers. Why do they exist, brother?
Yeah, so similarly to your concrete jungle, in Yoruba land, there are isolated incidents of criminalities too. You know, it's not a predominant, it's not as prominent and as pronounced as where you come from, but there are little skirmishes of criminality, which are structures have been put in place to address.
What, like Amotekun?
Yes, that's a structure.
Okay. So it seems like your people suffer similar issues that my people suffer from, correct?
No. We don't suffer similar issues. No.
Yes, you do. There's crime in Nigeria, except my people get to shit on toilets.
Do you see the reason why Nigeria? No, that is the reason why Nigeria needs an Igbo president.
Never. How can Nigeria ever? You know the Igbos are probably. Let me. You want me to show you stuff?
One man. Please let me quickly come in. It is simple. Amatekun is just like a state police. That is their function. They are just like local police. So that's just their.
But they're not police, brother. And he linked them to the forest. I'm asking you, UFC fan, what is the threat? What is the threat coming out of the forest? If you could just be honest with us, brother.
Hold on, because the police are too occupied in Nigeria, so we don't have a lot of there are not a lot of personnel to cover the whole country. So
sorry,
hold on, state governors decided to create, with the approval from the federal government, to create those security outfits. They just
No,
have
I get it. I get it. So they're filling the holes that the police can't fill. For what? They're fighting what? Crime. Why are you guys scared to say? Why are you guys scared to talk about what the Fulani are doing to you guys?
Hold on.
Listen,
why don't we call them? Why don't we call some militias?
Who just said that Nigeria needs an Igbo president? Who said that?
Me.
Huh?
Me.
You? Who's me?
Yeah, me, Snake Man.
No. The Igbos they're too far behind in their evolutionary phase for them to govern anything. Let me show you this. These were the Igbos in the 1920s. They're still in loincloths, whilst the Fulanis were already civilized and educated. Can you see? This was as early as the 1920s. This was as early as the 1960s. These are the Yorubas at the top. These are the Igbos, still pretty much still in that cannibalism phase. You know, so they're too far behind in their evolutionary process. What do you mean? What a sort of a ridiculous idea is that, an Igbo president?
Hey, that means the propaganda?
No, these are pictures from the archives.
Okay.
Those are the Igbos in the 1920s, and those are the Hausas in the 1920s as early hours. Did you know that when Nigeria was actually gaining its independence in 1960, they built up to that independence in Onitsha, which was the most enlightened space within the southeastern space. There was an edict put out by the British that they must put on clothes and they must have a bath. That, and if they don't, because they don't wear clothes, or I mean, you can see them. Did you know that it was actually a Yoruba man, Ajayi Crowther, that documented and codified the Igbo language? Did you know that?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Here it is,
you guys conquered us a lot.
Igbo language vernacular. The Right Reverend Bishop Ajayi Crowther. He was the one that actually took modernity, not even the English. It was a Yoruba man that modernized the Southeast. And you are saying they want to be president. What sort of a ludicrous idea is that?
Yeah, because they're better than you.
They are better than you.
Because you live in the past.
We civilized them and they are better than us. How is that possible?
Yes, you civilized us with a Christian right. Did you see the seal on that paper? Stop it.
Can I
ask you?
Have I given the American boy a good, a thorough flogging? I did say I was coming in to administer. All right, you carry on. I only came in to kick.
I want to ask you a question. You said that you're Yoruba from the Oyo tribe, right?
No, not from the Oyo tribe, from the Oyo race. I don't like that word tribe.
Oh, sorry. From the former Oyo Empire, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The progenitor of the Yoruba race. You know that the Yoruba race actually emanated from the Oyo people. Did you know that? Yeah. So that's
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought everyone is the same.
Wait, let me ask my question. I didn't know, but let me ask my question. So when this movie, The Woman King, came out, I think beginning of this year or something, there was a lot of controversy. From what we understand, at first the people of Dahomey were taking so much blame for selling slaves. But from what we understand, the Dahomey people, who are mostly from the Fawn race, let me use the word race, not tribe, at first they were first taken by, was sold into slavery by the Fulani people. Then the Fulani left, and then the Oyo Empire came, wanted to invade their land, to take them as slaves and everything. But then the Portuguese came, the white man came and played the divide and conquer. They gave you people weapons, they gave the Fawn people weapons, and then the Oyo and the Dahomes were fighting and they were selling each other. And the Dahomes sold so many people from the Oyo, and that's how most of your people from the Oyo went to Brazil, the Oyo people sold so many people from the Dahomey. That's when they went to Haiti. So my whole point is, my whole point of my question is, it seemed like the Oyo people started this Dahomey Oyo war, and which caused a lot of problems, a lot of division, and a lot of slaves, a lot of human beings being sold into slavery. So what is your take on it? Why did the Oyo people want to invade the Dahomey land?
Get some money.
You have to time warp into that space, but just in broad strokes, that was what it was at that time. You cannot use standards of now to. So that
sounds like white people when they deny slavery.
They wanted a bigger slave part.
Let him answer. Let him answer.
No. That was what it was at that time, and you know, it was essentially an era, a phase of war, conquest, and enslavement, predating the colonial intersection. Predating the colonial incursion. But dating back through time and space, it was essentially a narrative. It was an expansion. What's that?
How is that possible with the Dahomeys? The entire reason the kingdom existed is because of the slave trade.
No, the Dahomeys, they're essentially an outpost of the Yoruba people. I'm not quite sure. They come under the wider Oyo Alaafin. You know, the Oyo Alaafin, it extends almost to the borders of Borno, all the way through to what is now modern-day Benin Republic, and the vast expanse in between. I'm not quite sure why we didn't colonize the Igbos even, but they're too busy in the forest. I think it's the cannibalism.
You tried and you failed, that's why.
No, I think it was the cannibalism that put us off, you know.
It's the cannibalism, okay. Yeah. Says the one who wants to claim the Dahomey, okay.
Yeah, I think Jai is right. I think I made a mistake. I think I don't know because Jai is saying the Oyo wanted the Ouidah port, but the Oyo people went all the way to Abomey, where the kingdom is. Abomey is in the central part of Dahomey, if I'm not mistaken. I need to read it again. Somebody said Fulani did not sell Dahomey. Okay, maybe it was Hausa. I don't know. I heard something like people from the north, they did it before the Oyo people.
That's why you got to stay with East African business, bro. You're making yourself look crazy.
It was actually the Nupe people who we call tapas. You know, those were the ones that really made. You know, the Fulanis. I don't think they made their incursions beyond the northeastern spaces. I think they had sort of skirmishes into places like Iloni, etc. But I don't think they vested quite heavily in Yoruba land. But the Nupes, who we Yoruba people, we call them tapas. So they're the ones in that cusp, Niger Republic, like Babangida, for instance. He's a Nupe man, you know. So it's that cusp that had that little, not even little, long-standing sort of back and forth conquest, back and forth with the Yorubas.
Yeah, and somebody I've read this also in comments on YouTube. Somebody is saying that Dahomey grew through slavery. Yes, the slavery brought some wealth into that, not even to the kingdom, some wealth into the kings and the chiefs only.
So sorry,
but before slavery, they started doing business with the Portuguese by selling palm oil and cotton, okay, and which was bringing wealth already to the kingdom. It's just that later on the Portuguese came and said, let's just go a little bit more, you know, deeper and more expensive. Why don't you give us some human beings? So that's how it started. Yo,
Joe, real quick question. Who worked on those plantations?
Sorry,
who worked on those cotton plantations?
It was the Fon people in Dahomey.
No, it wasn't the Fon people in Dahomey. It was mainly the Igbo people. You know, the biggest slaver is King Jaja of Okobo, and his cusp was the Igbos, the people from Benin. Well, they will tell you that they were never enslaved, but places like Port Novo, they were essential slave ports where the Benins were transported through. So the biggest slaver in African history is actually King Jaja of Okobo, and he essentially sold Igbos and the Benins.
Benin, like Benin Empire in Nigeria, or
Benin Empire. Yeah, Benin Empire. Basically, it's the coastline of Nigeria, not a modern state of Benin.
Sorry, this guy, what's his name? Ja, by the way, is a black American, but he just said something.
Man, Kaiser, shut the fuck up. We are not Israelites. What talking about?
No, what did you just say? Oh,
No,
man,
you
I
are
missed.
black Jews. That's what you keep claiming, isn't it? You know, if you ever want
Ja has a message for you guys. Like 10 slaves for an 10 slaves for an umbrella is not expensive.
yeah, sometimes even for a bottle of gin, you know. But there it is.
Just one gin? Wow, that's crazy.
Yes. Sometimes even for a mirror.
You guys, shame on you, man. Like for real. Yo, Nakmizi, how much do I sell you for, man? Where's Nakmizi? Oh, he's not here. All right. Okay.
Man, stop trying to go to trigger music. Come on, man.
Wait, guys. Africans didn't know what they looked like until the white man gave him a mirror. That's crazy, man.
I'm sure they did. You know, I'm sure they did because you have rivers.
Yeah.
We have water.
Hold on. Let me roast. Guys, West African can make statues out of bronze. So I know that you East African loincloth wearing dusties don't understand what metallurgy is. But chill with those comments.
The East Africans are even behind the Igbos in their evolutionary phase. You can see that from their physiological makeup. They're still actually evolving into what is now known as modern human. I mean, my goodness me. Have you ever seen anybody that looks... It's just a weirdly shaped bunch of people, aren't they? Really, these East Africans. You know, just limbs out of sequence, forehead protruding like a Martian. I mean, it's just a odd-looking bunch, the East Africans, especially the Kenyans and the Ugandans.
No, that's not true. East Africans have foreheads. We don't have hair. We all have foreheads. Like we can't even kiss each other.
One man, what do you mean?
East Africans, we can't kiss each other because our heads are always.
What do you mean, Joe?
Like
what forehead? What forehead?
Our heads, we can't kiss mouth to mouth. Our heads are always blocking us. You see, that's the problem with East Africans.
So that's a normal hairline. It starts at the ears. What are you talking about? I'm human.
Like our heads, like we keep hitting gong 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 everywhere. You know, we can't hug. Our heads are always. It's a problem, man. It's a problem we have. So we always have...
and the teeth like as well, like fangs. You know, I mean, don't they have?
We can't keep our teeth in our mouths. It's always hanging out our lips. You know, so it's a problem.
You know, I follow this well, I don't say I follow him. I don't really like him, but somehow we always end up in my feed. Some Kenyan guy called Ayamawa, just some hideous guy like that, just horrible. I'm not quite sure how Kaizo ended up in Kenyan. I think it may well be the Nigerian the Nigerian relationships he formed when he was in the UK that actually emancipated him from that space.
You see our head? You see that's our head. And we're proud. We're very proud.
Kenyans voted the ugliest people in Africa once again. Apparently.
Oh man, that's funny.
The best looking. I'm talking females now. The best looking females are the best looking African females are actually Ethiopians, but the best looking African males are Nigerians. I think we can all consider.
You want to make yourself always the best because you just want to make yourself the best.
But do you not consider that we have good physique, broad shoulders, you know, square.
Have you seen the people of my Kaiser? Show him low men. Show him the low men.
No, they always look at the proportion. Is it that they're tall and lanky and then with a funny head, or they're short and stumpy with an odd shape? You know, but the Nigerian physiological makeup for a male is the best, but then for a female, the Ethiopians, you have to say.
Okay, let Kaiso play what he's playing.
Okay, this is the Luo men. Let's see what Luo's. This is Luo's and Wanga. Luo and Wanga men. Let's see how Luo and Wanga men look like.
In that first receiver position.
Yeah, so this is the size of what's wrong with my internet?
Okay. You know, Kenya and bundles. Have you paid for those bundles?
Yeah.
Guys who use Safaricom.
Yeah, not all of them are skinny and weird.
So what are we meant to be looking at?
Look at that. Kenya 7, Japan is 0. They're dominating Luo men over here, defeating Japan as one of the best rugby teams in the world.
One of the best rugby teams in the world. Which country?
Weird shaped, ugly, small.
Yeah, Japan. Yo, you did it. You defeated the midgets of Asia. Good for you. You defeated Japan.
And they're too dark as well. They're too dark as well.
What is wrong?
Dark?
What do you want us to be? You want us to be light skinned? You want us to bleach?
No, you have to be moderately skinned, like a Nigerian.
What is moderately skinned?
Like a Nigerian, not like a Ghanaian or a Ugandan, but like a Nigerian. That's how a black person should look. Like just the skin texture, just the tan enough for you to be black, but not charcoal. Like I mean, goodness me.
What is wrong?
Is it a diet? What's going on here? What do you guys eat?
Kaizo, do you know that Senegalese athlete who does that sport for Spain? What's her name?
Well, the lady
who jumps on that. Yeah, no, the one who jumps on those sands. How do you call that sport? Yeah, the Senegalese one for Spain. Yeah, can you please show her? I find her beautiful. I don't know about you.
Okay, let me see if I can find her. But
because this man, I think he thinks that
no, you can't be looking for isolated outliers.
It's not isolated. It's an example. But because you think dark skin is just too much. It's just. So let me just show you one. You will tell me if it's or if it's beautiful.
One man, click on the link. That is the best example.
People see dark skin as just a bit of exotica. It's not really. Oh God.
No, click on the link. That is the best example for West African, East African.
Yes, I'll put it up after Kaizo is done.
But to you don't find dark skin attractive.
Wait, hang on, wait. So you don't think this is a beautiful girl? This is a dark skin queen, It's a very Ethiopian. I don't think Ethiopian is the most beautiful. Not really.
No, I don't think. If you see a beautiful, if you see a beautiful Ethiopian girl, you will struggle to see a better looking African woman. That is if you consider them African, which some of us don't, But
no, they're definitely African. They're just mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're mixed.
Yeah, what is wrong? What is wrong with the internet? Did you not pay your shillings?
This is Africa, man. What's his name?
No. It's working fine. I think other people are using. Man, this girl is very. She's beautiful actually.
Where is she?
Is she actually beautiful though? If you just freeze frame it there, freeze frame it. Oh no, yes, she has a good figure. Yeah, of course, she has a good figure. But facially, is she beautiful? That's the question.
I would say she's not ugly.
No, if you had frozen it when I told him to freeze frame it, then you would see. If you look at the physiological makeup of that face, it is out of skew. But then, look at that, look at that. That's not you can say she's not a pretty girl. You wouldn't say, would you say?
I wouldn't say. I would say she's not.
She's
ugly.
Okay. She's like a 6 out of 10.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful enough to fuck. Like
if you strip back the hair, the makeup, and everything, if you bore her back to the bare bones, then she's just
one man. You must understand. There are not enough beautiful women for every man. At some point, you must compromise.
Exactly. Thank
No,
you.
she's an 8.5
Okay.
at least.
No, one line. Why do you think? Like, let's see the most beautiful women in Africa, right? Most beautiful tribes in Africa.
Now, one minute before
Because
that shows
this
the
idea
picture. Shows the picture.
I don't even date Ethiopians. Yeah,
Do you want to
I don't
see
date
the picture
Ethiopians. I only date dark African women.
do you want to see the picture that makes the point, Kaizo?
Yeah, go ahead. You can share it.
All right. So this picture makes the point. So to your left, you have a bunch of Nigerian guys, and then to your right, and you can take your pick of whichever one of the Nigerian guys,
And we don't see it.
and match it against the East African guy. So there it is, right there. Oh, let me see. Should I put it up?
Yeah, put it up, but for some
No,
reason.
I have it up, but there it is. Yeah, so there it is. Can you see? So that's your classic East African right there, and that is your average looking Nigerian. So that's a good looking East African man, and those are a bunch of average looking Nigerian people. So that's just the, but back to you guys though.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm just seeing these comments. No, Kaizo. What's his name? One man went and Kaizo. Guys, imagine if somebody just comments to you, yeah, his figure is good, but the face, no. Face is average. Yeah, the guy is just okay. I'm just reading these comments thinking, wow, if somebody was commenting about me like that. Oh boy.
No.
But still, the black woman is probably the best looking woman on the planet, though. And since the Ethiopian woman is the best looking amongst black people, then you probably want to say that the Ethiopian woman is the best looking woman on the planet.
So the problem I have is that argument all the time. No, so listen to me. The problem I have is that argument one man is. Yes, beautiful Ethiopians are beautiful, but that is not the majority. Because like we all see this example. Most East Africans. No. Most East African look like scarecrows. There's a hairline that goes back to your ears. Am I lying?
And Nigerian women look like men. So it works out.
No, because I always think to myself, hold on. So you're saying to me that the quote unquote most beautiful women on earth create the most ugliest men in Africa. How is that possible?
In fact, when I was young, I was actually told that. I was told like if the parents are really hot, if the father is handsome and the mother is very beautiful, the kids will come out ugly. I was told that when I was younger, I remember, like a teenager. I just don't think it's true, but anyways.
No, because one man, be seriously. How can the beautiful women in Africa produce that face?
10 tribes in Kenya. Let's see.
How come they're all Arab looking, Kaizo?
Because it needs a forehead, that's why. Because that forehead comes from the Arabs. Okay. No, that gigantic forehead. That gigantic forehead comes from the Arab genes.
No, definitely.
Wait, who looks?
But shout out to the guy.
Okay, so this woman here is better looking than that athlete, that athlete that you showed earlier.
Yeah, definitely. This is Gabra. Gabra is a good tribe.
Gabra is a tribe. I thought it was a name. My goodness me, all those funny little tribes that you have in
What tribe? Garbage? What was the tribe?
Yeah, no, yeah, I think it was garbage or something.
Garbage.
Imagine a tribe called Grabha. Imagine that, Grabha. Try that in the West and you get arrested.
What? Raising the Arab ancestry.
Okay, the next one is Iteso.
You see now,
I think
that's a
this is like
striking face right
Iteso, I
there.
don't know,
That's
but
Guys, so me, I know that our women for my tribe, they're just going to be last. I know that. I know for a fact.
so that's a classic black beauty
yeah,
right
no, they
there.
won't be last. They won't be in the runoff.
Exactly. No, me, I know it. I know that. I know for a fact.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay, this must be a Kikuyu or Masai. Let's see.
I've actually never heard of that. Grabber.
So all that Maasai narrative is actually selling the world a con, isn't
I love
it?
the clothes.
It's a con.
Yeah, it's selling. Of course.
These are South Africans, aren't they? These Mboboti people.
You see, these are beautiful women, Nigerians.
These are Kenyans.
That's not a Kenyan.
Guys,
I mean, like they're similar to them, Rendile. No, that's a Kenyan. They're Rendile. They're actually very native people. They don't wear clothes anymore. No, they're Kenyans. They live in Marsabit County. They don't wear clothes even today. So if you guys want to see naked Somalis, just type in Rendile. They're exactly the same tribe. They just don't wear clothes. Which one is this one? It's the same tribe. Okay, this must be. That's definitely a Somali there. No, it's not. It must be Kikuyu or something. I can't tell. Oh, it's Swahili. I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're all right, but a little bit too light skinned for me, you know. I like my women a bit darker.
Too light skinned, yeah.
Yeah, see, Kenyan women are nice, man. Yeah, a little bit too light skinned though.
No, but it's actually nothing against. It's actually nothing against any people. It's just, for me, it's confusing because when we have those Ethiopian discussion, they keep it at 100. For some reason, don't forget, all those chairs to say they have the same genes. For some reason, women are beautiful, but also men are ugly. But when you place women and the men next to each other, they nearly look the same. They have the same phenotypes. So
wow, Samburu.
That's why I was confused. It's like how can
this is like Masai's.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, because how can the quote unquote most beautiful women create the quote unquote most ugliest man? That makes no sense. It's not my logic. It's the logic of those people who say that.
Guys, so how did these people leave South Sudan, come here and become so light? I don't get it.
I tell you. They mixed with the Bantus and Kushites. So if you look at Samburu DNA, it's actually only 60% Nilotic DNA. So they're not even true Nilotes. The rest is Bantu and Kushite genes, so they became lighter.
And with the Maasais also, right?
Yeah, Maasai's mixed a little bit less. They mixed with other Nilotes. So they didn't get as light.
No, I think I heard they mixed with Kikuyus also, something like that.
Yeah, they did. So Maasai and Samburu are originally from Ethiopia and South Sudan. Like basically the area we now call Gambela region, you know, the border between Sudan and Ethiopia. So when they traveled down into Kenya, they kept mixing with some Kushites and Bantus. So now their skin tone changed, because if you look at the real South Sudanese in Kenya, they're Turkana. This niggas is darker than my past, right? So those niggas still look like South Sudanese. Yeah, but
what about those Kalenjins?
Kalenjin, same thing. They mixed with the Bantus, and for example, they mixed with the Kisis, and they mixed with the Kushites as well. So Kalenjins mixed with Kushites and Bantus, so they lost their dark skin from Sudan. Actually, the only one who still looks South Sudanese of the Nilotes is just Turkana. The rest of them do not look like South Sudanese anymore. Because if you think about it, right, the Nilotes in Kenya will look more like other Kenyans than they look like the original Nilots, right? Like,
yeah, it's true.
Like Luos do not look like those Dinkas that much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to Ethiopia, Luos look like the Dinkas because they didn't mix.
Yeah, actually, us we're not related to the ones who are related to the Dinkas are the Kalenjins. The Luos are related to. There's another.
Anuak. Yeah, Anuak.
Yeah, Anuak. Yeah, that's true.
And the Shilluk a little bit as well. Yeah.
Yeah, the Shilluk, true.
But yeah, you guys, Anuak is actually Luo. That's
yeah, they are.
So those, yeah, but Kalenjin, yeah, you're right. Kalenjin are related to the Mursi and the Dinka, those kinds of Nilots. But yeah, that's basically what happened, man. Nilots realized, I don't want to be black, man. Like, I'm gonna mix out the darkness. No, but you're not glad that your ancestors mixed out the blackness, and now you just look like a normal black person instead of looking.
No,
like
man, I'm not glad, man. I'm not glad. I want to live everywhere in this earth. That's because we are the first people in this world. That's why we can live under the equator, under the Sahara, in the Antarctica, and everywhere. These light skin that this guy is left the chat love so much, they can't live in Africa. They can't live in the Sahara. You know, that's why I tell guys, Adam and Eve were black. God cannot say, let there be light, and he puts people who cannot live under the light. That doesn't make sense. When he said, let there be light, what was that, Kaizo?
I mean, they can live there, but they need a lot of equipment and also, they couldn't live like they cannot go topless for like the entire life. They would get skin cancer and die.
But they were naked. Adam and Eve were naked at that time. Yeah. So when he said, let there be light, he had to put people who can live under the light. Which people are those? Melanated people, black people. So these Adam and Eve that were being shown of being white and blonde people, how do you say, let there be light, and God puts people who can't live under the sun? It doesn't make sense.
You know why. No, you know why. It's just art. Like most people in Europe didn't know most people didn't even know how Middle Eastern looked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, it's just art. It's just the interpretation.
True, man. Shit, my battery is spoiled. What's wrong with my battery, man?
But let me ask you guys a question and answer it truthfully, right? Would you rather this light-skinned looking Kenyans now? Right? So like this one, I don't know what tribe she's probably a Oromo. Or Oromos. That still looks good.
Or what?
Actually, yeah, the my side looks good too, to be honest. Yeah, so who do you choose? The Maasais over here?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Nigerians? Would you rather these being your average woman or the Nigerian woman?
Nigerian woman.
I'd rather my Kenyan women. Yo,
Stop the gap.
I'm not capping. I'm not capping on so Chicago. No, there's a difference. Is the difference because I was in Nigeria, so I know how those women look like.
Lies. The average Nigerian lady is selling fish on the street probably hasn't taken a bath for 5 days.
Now, naturally, I will never go for the ugly ones. Like, why should I go for the ugly ones? Why should I surround myself? Why should I surround myself with ugly Nigerians? Like, I'm not you, Kaizo. I don't take everything that comes to me.
I see. Yeah, definitely not the Kikuyus. They're least on my. Oh, Taita. Never mind. Taita is okay. Interesting. I thought she was a cute. I like her now.
I'm not kidding, Kaizo.
Oh yeah, so Lewis didn't even make it to the top 10. Though. Joe, your tribe didn't even make it to the top 10.
Imagine, man.
At least one of my tribes.
They didn't even make it to the.
So
what top 10? They didn't even make it to. They didn't make it to the list, man.
Man, Joe, you must understand. Also,
I understand. Trust me, I understand.
No, all those category doesn't mean shit. What we need for once to end this discussion is a global event where also African men, even the North African come in. I don't care really. And also African men come together and say, okay, let's vote. Let's start voting. And only then I will accept any kind of she's the most beautiful one in Africa. Because everything else is just corrupted data. It's the same retarded shit. It's the same retarded shit when I was in the manosphere and so we're talking about some dating apps and then it was like, oh look, in the dating apps, white people are the most beautiful. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. You're in a white country where the majority is white. What do you expect? You expect that all Africans get that dating app and then vote.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, so at the end of the day, I just believe beauty lies in how these individuals say lies in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah, and the problem is not everyone on the internet. Like, think about it, Kaiser. If the internet would be representative of the real world, that would be funny as fuck.
Oh yeah, true. That would be it would be crazy. But look, the reality is this though, right? Nigerians are very intelligent, right? You guys are the highest IQ. I'll give you guys that on average. But one man was right. Like Ethiopian girls definitely look better on average than other African women. You guys just have to accept that, right? Stop the cap. There's no need to lie to.
We will not accept it. We will not accept this. I'm very sorry. We can make a vote. Let's do a vote. Let's do a vote. Let's do a vote. No. Let's make it democratic. Let's guess who will win. Just by pure numbers.
You want to make a vote? Okay. You're missing that.
Not here. That is an East African. Go to a West African channel and make a vote.
Come on, there's just a bunch of people coping, right? Like Joe. Listen.
How is it coping?
Average. Hang on. Compare the average university and compare the average. Take 100 random Ethiopian girls in a Ethiopian university versus 100 random Nigerian girls from Nigerian university. Who's gonna have more numbers of beautiful women?
Just by the population alone, Kaiser.
Come on, no. Population also means you'll have more ugly women too. Yeah, so
yes, that's why I say we have a lot of ugly women, we have a lot of beautiful women, just by population. I'm not even coping. I just use logic.
Joe. You go to university. You go to Habarda University in Ethiopia. You pick up 100 random women. You go to
it's the
Lagos
same.
University. Pick out 100 women.
Kaiser is the same with the Arabs. It's the same with the Arabs. We know how the average Arab woman look like. That's average Arab woman is not a looker. But those influencers and those rich Arabs who run around and say, yes, they picked the beautiful ones. That is not the average population. That is the same with East. That is the same with East Africans. I always say beautiful East Africans. No. I always say beautiful East Africans are beautiful. Never. But that is not the average. That is not the average. I'm sorry. No one can tell me that the most beautiful women create the most ugliest men. The math ain't mathing.
No, it might make sense, because there's asymmetry, like, for example, right? The reason why Nigerian men are seen as attractive is because they have masculine features, right? They have the potential, at least, to put on muscles easier and build on masculine phases.
Everyone can have muscles. Even East Africans have muscles. I saw masculine.
No. East Africans generally, apart from a few tribes like Joe's tribe, they have the Indian sort of body type. And there's a specific Indian body type. Yeah.
My guy, my best, one of my friends is Indian and he's buff as shit. And he looks like Kareem.
No, those are exceptions. There is actually a real body type to these things. There's a reason why you'll never see a West African win a long distance race. There's a reason. It's genetic, right? It's always East Africans. It's either Oromo, Kalenjin, or Kikuyu. Those are the only tribes really that win in the whole world racing. So there is a distribution name. Stop the cap. Stop saying that. Oh, you can find a fit Indian, but the average Indian, when they eat food, the fat goes to the stomach, so it builds up visceral.
No, what I mean is that it is possible and it happens more often. No, yeah, that's the beauty of humanity and everything is. But like I said, my problem is only for those guys that always say, "Oh, it's the most beautiful woman in Africa is the most beautiful," as the same guys who will say out of their mouth, "It's the most ugliest man." See, creation ain't making sense. And so when you have the most beautiful women, how can you produce the most ugliest man? And like I said, it's not me. It's those people who always say that. And that confuses me.
Right.
Because for me, East Africans are average. Like most humans on this planet.
No, but I think East Africans are much beautiful than West Africans. For real, man. Like for real.
Yeah, I do think.
Maybe we can have a vote. Guys, we can have a vote.
No, let me tell you, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but from like West Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, you people, you need to work on your women, man. Aye.
If you say so, we can have a vote. Let's see how humanity sees it. Let's have a vote.
Let's ask the chat. Ask the chat. Us three, we cannot vote, so you have to ask the chat to vote.
Nah. We don't do that. The internet is always cringe.
But if you really us three, Kaiser just agreed with me that East Africa is much better than
yes,
West.
Because it's East Africans. That's why I say you say it is a universal thing. That means all humans. Let's have an all human vote. Let's see what comes out.
Okay, tell us how we're gonna vote like that.
That's why I say it will never happen, because let us say Africa, let us say in an alternate dimension, Africa is now the richest continent on earth, and we all are so decadent that we have the time to do that shit on the internet. Like we make a big event out of it. I'm just saying, so if all people in Africa would vote, you would be surprised.
Yeah, you're just trying not to be a coon because people are like, "Oh, your mom is Yoruba or whatever."
It's nothing to do with the coons. It has nothing to. So the problem is that I just know by population what you say makes no sense.
Exactly. Why is this guy so concerned about how men look? Exactly, I don't know.
I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. East X. I'm not concerned. I'm just saying the guys who are always saying, "Oh, East Africans are so beautiful. East Africans have the most beautiful women," as the same guys are saying, "Oh, the East African man is the most ugliest man on earth." And I'm just saying the equation doesn't make sense.
I don't know, man.
I'm just saying those people doesn't make sense. So those people marry each other and create children for centuries. Like, come on, man.
I get it, but brother, man, you've been called out.
How am I called out?
You are more worried about how men look than women.
No, I'm more worried about the logic that the people who always say such shit doesn't make sense. The math ain't mathing.
Do you believe him, Joe?
Yeah, man, just like some Nah, I mean, yeah, he is speaking some sense. But, sorry, I was not listening. I'm just doing some stuff here.
Man, Joe, be careful that the battery doesn't run out.
Yeah, I checked. It's not working. I need to buy a new battery, man.
Yeah, phone batteries can be tricky. Like if it is too old, you must replace it. You can't do nothing.
Yeah, and this iPhone right now, it's winter, so it's so freaking cold. So the battery just goes really fast. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I forget you're in Russia. How's the Russian winter? How's the Russian winter?
Actually, right now it's warm. Right now it's minus 11 degrees. That's warm, by the way.
Yeah, so, because here in Germany, so last week the snow was, I would say, half a meter.
I can actually sense your German accent. I can sense your German accent a little bit. The Guten Tag reißend. Hitler! Hey! Yeah. So by the end of this year, we should be heading to minus 19 degrees. That's what I'm really not looking for.
Minus? Are you serious? That's colder than my freezer.
Right now we're minus 11. Right now we're minus 11.
Man, look at him. Look at the British guy crying about a little cold.
No, that's too cold, man. What the hell, man? -11.
I was watching this show, African Tigress.
Celsius, right? Celsius, not Fahrenheit, right?
Yes,
Celsius, yeah. Celsius minus 11 degrees. Right now it's minus 11 degrees Celsius. Soon it's gonna get minus 19. But I was watching. Do you know this lady called African Tigress?
Yes, I know her.
Bad memory. Continue.
Yeah. She's
why?
a Kenyan.
Yeah, she's a why? Anyways, you smashed her. What happened? She used you as a one-night stand or what? Anyways, so yeah, I was watching.
It has nothing to do with sex. It's more to do with he doesn't use a lot of logic. But continue.
Anyways, I was watching.
What would you come for a woman because she don't use logic?
Kaiser, will you smash her?
She's a friend of mine, so I can't speak to her about in those terms.
Kaiser, is your girlfriend around? You can say the truth, Kaiser. When your girlfriend is not around, you can say the truth. She may not know.
No. She's a friend, so I can't.
Okay. Anyways, let me just change. Yeah, it's YouTube. So yeah, I was surprised she was in the UK, and I think UK was just 2 degrees. Man, the lady was freezing. I was like, just check a video. She was, I think, like last week or 2 weeks ago or something. She was in the UK. I was like, 2 degrees and you're crying. I really wish I had that weather, man.
Man, 2 degrees is good.
Was it 2 or -2? I can't remember. I think it was minus. No, I think it was -2.
-2 is still.
Yeah, I know. It's still, yeah.
Comfortable.
No, I don't think the UK even goes to the minus. Really, it's probably 2 degrees.
It's probably 2, right? I was just like,
yeah, I don't
damn.
remember going minus in the UK.
Man,
often.
Man, do you know what cold is? Cold is when your nose water is freezing in your nose. That's cold.
Yeah, when your cheeks are numb, when your legs are also numb, when your hands are numb. That is cold. And you can't breathe. You can't breathe well because the air is dry and so cold. Man, don't come to St. Petersburg in winter, man. Don't come here in winter.
Nah, that's crazy, man. Like, why do you guys have such cold weathers, man? Just be warmer.
Only when Russians are the ones who can answer that question, man, not me, man.
Like, how are you guys productive? You know, when I went to the coast like a week and a half ago, I saw that this place is too hot. I can't survive here, and
too
also
hot
humid.
As an African, how can it be too hot? Come on, guys.
It was way too hot, man, and humid. Right? No, you never been to Nairobi, Snake, man. Nairobi is like utopia. It's just 20 degrees, 15, 20 degrees all year round. Doesn't get hot, doesn't get cold.
No wonder you're so docile. Come to Nigeria. Come into the jungle. 30 degrees wet.
Nah, that's too much.
That's why our muscles are so glistening.
Yeah, that's
too much, man.
Yeah, that's too much. That shit is just gonna be beating you down, like bang, bang, bang. You wanna live somewhere where you can at least enjoy your day. I wake up, I don't have to worry about the sun. I just feel good every single day. But when I was in the coast of Kenya, man, I was like, nah, I'm not staying here for more than a week. The beaches are nice, but
never underestimate. Coast is mostly hotter than the inlands.
Yeah, that's true. Even in the UK, the coast had a better weather. So
why is Kisumu so hot? Even Kampala. Kampala is so hot.
Oh, because those are like rainforest areas. Like Kisumu, you go into Kakamega, Busia, those are all.
And don't forget the craters. The craters are very important too.
Yeah, Kisumu is also. But you're lucky Kisumu is not humid because there's not that much water around like the coast. So the humidity is not as bad. Because when it's humid, even if you sweat, the water doesn't go anywhere. So you don't get cooler.
Guys, I have a question. When is the next Thunderdome?
The next what?
Thunderdome. So it's the next African Thunderdome. You know, you bring up a topic. It's a continental topic. All the Africans come together and shit on each other. We pull up history up like your ancestry in the past 500 years, like something. When is the next big fight? Come on, guys. because those topics we do, it's like, did you grow old? Do you want peace?
What Nakmizi? What is this Equatorial Guinean girl? Fawn, whatever.
And even Magnesium becomes slowly docile. Like old Magnesium was like fire. Straight.
Yeah.
Fire.
By the way, Kaizo, why has Nakmizi calmed down lately? Like he's become so calm.
There's good reasons, right? He has a job now working with white man, and there are the reasons I can't speak of, but there is the legitimate reasons,
Well, is he waking up these days? Like
is he waking up?
Like, is he finally seeing that Africans are human beings? In other words.
Nah, look, Mizi is probably a Pan-African. Back in the days, he went to Ghana, realized the Ghanaians scammed him, so that's when he started his dark.
I still don't understand how you can get scammed by Ghanaians.
Ghanaians are tricky scammers. They're nice to your face, but these egg munchers are out there planning and plotting against you.
Nah,
like these egg munchers are serious. They're not.
No, but Kaiser, at some point, some African countries will get a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think will happen then? Think about it. What do you think? Like let's say Somalia becomes more calmer, more tame, and then they get an atom bomb. Would you trust them?
They're not going to get an atom bomb. That's the point.
But if they would get some, would you trust them? Would you say, brother, come here?
Well, of course you wouldn't trust them. That's why they're not going to get one. Like, who would let them get it? Snake Man.
I don't know. You never know. You never know what into global agenda will happen. You never know.
No. That's one of those countries where like no one's going to support the bid because.
I mean, think about it. All the East European countries, the ones who are really dusty and still fighting about your grandfather shit in my grandfather's mouth. Because of that, I must shoot you. Those Eastern European countries.
Right.
They all had atom bombs at some point.
Okay. I see. But but at that time, because they were able to leverage whatever, was happening at that time. Soviet Union was there. You had countries like Ukraine with it. All these countries had it for a certain reason. But right now, the way that the world is structured, who's going to give Somalia nuclear? They've just barely been given access to normal weapons now because there's an arms embargo.
Maybe they can buy one from the Chinese black market.
No, of course, Chinese is not stupid to sell nuclear weapons to a country that dusty, man. Come on, even the Chinese want to survive.
No, I just hope nothing against it. I really hope that South Africa gets, or at least Kenya, or you two together get your shit together. Because if any other African country gets a swift of geopolitical power, we are doomed. Like you think the Mordor, know a lot of things. You think Mordor is a bad place? Wait, if one of those other African countries get power enough to dominate all the other African countries. Like Mordor is shit against it.
Yo, Snake Man, which part of Germany are you in? If it's not a secret.
Bavaria, right?
Oh damn! You guys are the ones who do this Oktoberfest thing.
Yes, we are the hillbilly inbred mountain Germans. Yeah, we are the Bavarians.
So you guys are alcoholics. Are you in Munich?
Everyone in Germany is alcoholic. Even the Austrian. Can I tell you a historical story? Okay, the Austrians went to war with the Turks, the Ottomans.
Mm-hmm.
100 or 10,000 strong. You know what happened? They got alcohol, got drunk, killed each other, and then the Ottoman came, wondered what happened, and conquered a lot of land. So Germans, no matter where, are always alcoholics. We lose wars because of alcohol.
Wow, I thought Russians were worse. Yeah, you were in Munich.
Yeah, in Munich. I can tell you one thing: Oktoberfest is not it. It's not the same as the past. Like because of the tourism, now there's a lot of police and rules, and you must So it's not the same. In the past, you just could go in any corner. You could just go in, drink alcohol, go outside, drink alcohol. Now we have to, man, you foreigners, make us weak. You are too soft.
Interesting about
that was actually, yeah. That was actually my next question. Like, I hear now in Europe, like there's a lot of right wing. I'm just from talking. I have a friend who is from. She's my neighbor actually. She's from the Reunion Island, which is an island in East Africa. But she lives in France, right? And she's told me a lot of things of like she doesn't agree with how the foreigners behave in France, particularly the Africans and the Arabs. And this immigration thing, you know, the way Biden is also opening the floodgates for anybody to come in. It's happening in Europe. Crime is also really rising.
You know why?
So there's on the white side there's this right wing thing that is growing, which I understand. Well, I mean it's not nice, but I understand because that's their land. They don't want to be invaded, although they invaded other lands. Their ancestors invaded other lands. But
it's
also
not invasion. Being invited is not invasion. Oh, okay.
The Arabs and the Africans are coming in illegally. Okay, so how is it in Germany? And in France now there's a lot of in France there's an anti-white in France now there's even anti-white racism growing, which is actually funny. So how are Germans viewing these immigrants? How are Germans viewing this immigrant thing?
Yeah. And what can I tell you? They are here. They are here. There are some who are not happy with it. There are some. Many don't care. Really, many don't really care. And there are some who are happy with it. Mostly it's the rich elites.
Who are happy with this immigrant thing?
Yes.
Why?
Interesting.
Why should I know that? Do you think I care what these people think?
Interesting.
Oh, no, but what do the rich benefit from the immigrants? That's what I'm concerned.
Money. Everything is money.
Okay, and who don't care? Is it the young generation?
Oh yeah, that means the water petition that is more a libertarian Western thing, that every generation less care about the political things in their country. There's actually nothing to do with any political leaning. It's just I don't know, Western society in the late stages. I don't.
Now, one question. So immigration is not like a hot button topic. Like in the United States, immigration is extremely hot button topic.
Let me explain. Mm-hmm. Not immigration as you call it. It's more about war. How do you call it? War migrants. War. Basically, it's the people who run from the Middle East.
Okay.
That is.
I mean, I guess the difference between Europe and the United States, and here's the difference, which lies. Europe pretty much have ocean, and it's pretty much kind of have like a fortification in some respects.
Where
in the United States we don't. The difference is, most Europe is indigenous white people.
The border with Mexico, not a giant desert. What you talking about?
No. I mean, most of Europe is white people. I mean, let's just be real. Just land for white people, this and that. In America, it's far more complex. A lot more nuances here.
Most of Europe is grassland, flat grassland. You know that.
Right. Over here, we have jungles in South America, Central America. Very, very tropical environments in Central America and South America, which is pretty much equivalent to, let's say, Western African countries and stuff like that. If you look at the map of South America and Brazil, it almost looks like it's like a puzzle. I mean, South Africa. I mean, Africa and Brazil. It's almost like a puzzle that could be put together, which is weirdly.
Yeah, it's the same with Europe and Africa, or India and Asia, and it's called continental movement.
Right. So it's pretty much interesting. Because when people compare like migration in Europe versus migration in the United States, I think it's kind of like apples and oranges in a way.
I wouldn't say that. Migration is migration. The only difference is how you handle it and your culture.
Right.
Like there's a lot of migration here in Nigeria. I bet you there's no one in Nigeria who not somewhere has some cousin or uncle or some aunt who comes from outside of Nigeria.
Right.